Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Call of Duty World League here, presented by PlayStation 4. And today we're doing a Challenger Cup, the third of three, the last one. If you haven't signed up now, it's too late, afraid. But as always, Philip Momo Whitfield, joined by Bricey.
Hi.
Yeah, but we've got a selection of games coming up, which is going to be interesting. Now, the good thing about the Saturdays and the Sundays, the Cups, the things that aren't in the league, we get to pick who we watch. And a few people have been catching our eye. A few kind of team changes behind the scenes have been changing, if you like, simple as that. And we've actually chosen quite a good one for the first of all. And we've seen these teams before. Okay, and hopefully you kind of understood the players or the characters a little bit more. But it's Team Spud. We've gone with Team Spud. Yeah.
They're favourites of ours. They are kind of favourites of ours at the moment. But we are going to try and get a few more, obviously, over the weekend. So if you keep making it through the tournament, the likelihood of you being on stream actually increases. So fight your hardest if you want us to commentate over you.
Yes, do let us know. Obviously, of course, with that hashtag CWLPS4 and get involved with us on Twitter as well. Social media, at COD World League, hashtag CWLPS4. And if you're on Facebook, that / which I've now perfected of / Call of Duty. But we're going to have some interesting games. We've only got 2 games for you today, but just to outline exactly what we are going to be doing, there's a cup which is, I believe, around 256 teams in total, and we narrow it down every single round. We go to 126, 64, 32, 16. We'll get to the quarters, the semis, and by the end of tomorrow, what we will be able to see, of course, is that grand final. And we're going to have a different winner than the first 2 cups because Splice, they're not in.
Not only are they not in, as far as I'm aware, they're not going to be in the country for very much longer. They are heading out to Anaheim early. So it's time for somebody else to probably come through and take it. Smart money's on Hyper Games.
Yeah. I mean, Hyper Games, they've reached the final for the last 2. They've come second in the last 2. This time they're going for that first spot. They're probably thinking there's nothing in our way. We can do this. There's no Splice. And yeah, Splice are on their way, of course, to MLG Anaheim. And best of luck to those guys as well to not only represent the team and themselves, but, represent Europe. Do us proud.
Yeah, they're not the only ones going over as well. A few more European teams will join them, but we'll go over that as we go through the broadcast. So, Phil, is there any other team you think could take this weekend?
This weekend, I think we may see a few upsets. I think we may see a few quarter-final matches where they're not pro teams. We've obviously got the likes of LDLC still in there. We've got all the other CWL teams as well. And I think it's up for grabs. With Splice out, I think the hunger from everyone's like, you know what? We can get this. We can take this one. But I do think Hyper Games is the one to watch. Yeah,
I think they're the smart money. But there's a lot of teams here going to be going through. Now, I saw a tweet earlier about Infused. I think they're playing with Whalers. I'm not sure that's 100% true.
Oh, right. Okay, this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
Well, what we can do, I believe...
We can find out.
We've got the bracket in front of us. We've got our monitors switched on, and we've got the brackets to really kind of dissect. But quickly find Infused for you.
Okay. Find Infused. There are Infused. Is it right about that roster change?
They are. They're playing with Whalers instead
of
Urban. Okay, so if Urban may have some other things to do, it may not even be today, it might be tomorrow. But Infuse grabbing that second seed, of course. Hyper Games taking first. We've got Exertus in the mix. We've got, you know, all the CWL teams, I think, bar Splice, actually. Millennium should be in here. I mean, there's so many people. Thank you very much for all of you guys signing up as well. For you guys at home as well, who are just watching, these guys have been battling it out since about 2 p.m. Of course, we're jumping in a few rounds later to bring you kind of the more intense, more exciting games. And me and you before kind of the broadcast, we were sat here looking, we just didn't know who to pick. There was obviously certain matches are ready, certain matches aren't. But we have narrowed it down to a couple, and we've gone for an English team up against a German team, Bryce. Spud versus Saviors.
It is. I mean, we've seen Spud. What was it? We saw Spud back in Season 1.
Yeah.
I think we watched them on one of these 5Ks, and they were actually very impressive. Didn't get a lot further in the tournament, though. So maybe today, you know, it could be a little bit different.
Well, it could be their day. Of course, we've got IMP back in it. They're still going. They're actually playing up against LDLC if they make it through. So that might be an interesting one as well.
LDLC have been looking really good recently, though.
They have. LDLC, you know, recently have been taking down pro teams, you know, and I know they're a pro team themselves, but top tier pro teams. But we brought it on screen for you, and you can see here, this is where we're heading. First of all, Team Spud versus the Saviors. Further down, we've got obviously Impact and versus LAN players. LDLC and Millennium getting in the mix. Downfall, they were actually a quarterfinalist, I believe, last week. They took down one of our CWL pro teams. And then, as you can see, some games aren't ready. This is why we can't, obviously, view certain ones. I know you guys love to get involved on Twitter and say, can you watch this game? Can you watch that one? We are obviously subject to a select few because only a few of us are ready. So, hopefully, they should be ready as well. I believe we've got all the players in the lobby, and we should be able to kick it off with the Ban and Protect shortly. But before we do, Brycey, just to go through... Are you wanting to say something, or are you waiting for the big thing that I'm about to say?
Your just shocking reveal.
It's a huge, huge kind of announcement. Yeah. We're actually going on to evac Hardpoint. I know that's quite a lot of things to take in.
I can't deal with that. That's too much information.
It might. Should we swap it?
Yeah. I've always said what we should do is I have a theory, by the way. We're getting off topic already. I don't care. Hashtag CWL PS4, because you're going to want to comment on this. I've always wanted to see like a pro mix-up tournament.
Okay.
Like, one time it's all snipers, maybe they have to do just pistols, maybe an Argus showdown, but on different maps, different game modes.
See,
Safeguard, Argus only, on Combine.
I thought of a different thing, actually, kind of similar with the mixing up part, but I thought, basically, all the pros amongst themselves, they have to team with other people, but they have to be pros, and you can only have one from each team. So let's just say Swanee's there. He's like, in this tournament, he's got to pick his player. He takes, say, Urban from Infused. He takes one from Millennium. He takes one from, you know, and just really mix it up and just kind of see a bit of a difference. But obviously that would be a bit of fun, but the competitive side would see a little bit of a dip, but it's always refreshing to see something new.
Well,
and
here's the interesting thing about the Ban and Protect coming up. I have no idea what any of these teams are going to pick, apart from the usual. So Double Tack, Stock Protect coming in already. And then we've got HTXD, we've got Overclock, very standard again. And I think this is the interesting thing about the 5Ks, right? Now, don't get me wrong, right? We're supposed to be experts in the CWL.
Mm-hmm.
But these teams aren't CWL. These are outside. These are teams we don't know an awful lot about. I mean, on this entire, 8 players, I know 2 of them. Well, 3 of them, actually. And that's on Team Spud.
Yes. Now, the roster change, which was quite a bit of a stir-up in kind of the amateur scene, if you like, was, of course, the removal of Dodgers. He was on Team Spud, and he was replaced by this Fallon, or I don't know, I'm not going to say Fuxilon. I presume it's meant to be a Val, it's what the cool kids do. They put an X there instead. But for me, Dodgers was one of the key players to this team. He was the one doing the objective, the one getting behind enemy lines and really kind of causing a bit of a mix-up, that aggressive SMG. But I believe behind the scenes there was a bit of controversy between some of the players, in fact. So they've decided to swap things out.
Oh, you've got a bit of the inside track on Team Spud, do you? Is it because you know them?
I do. I mean, old teammates, veterans of the Call of Duty scene, but definitely not where they used to be.
Sheev has been banned out.
Some may say washed. Some may say past it, but I say...
Washed and past it?
Wast it.
Wast it. Well, this is the interesting thing here. We're seeing the kind of the draft come in, and right now it's Tempest versus Scythe. We've had that conversation a million times. I prefer the Tempest. Some people prefer the Scythe. That's pretty much how it goes down. But I mean, this for me, I'm having an open mind. I'm trying to figure out who's good and who's bad because I've only seen McGee and Pasco, and I know McGee and Pasco are pretty handy. I know Sketchy's pretty good. I think I've played with him, haven't I? Yeah,
Sketchy's really good. He's kind of that assault rifle player who will just put big numbers up. He's your Slayer. He's kind of your Scrapsy, if you like, of a team. But he's a really good S&D player. You know, he plays a lot of S&D. But I don't know how it's kind of going with Pasco and McGee, who are kind of, you know, competitive experts, if you like, who've been to the top and back.
We as experts.
Sorry?
We as experts.
We as experts.
We as experts.
But Fallon, don't have a clue what he's going to bring to the table.
And then the other team, I mean, going through it, I genuinely have no idea. They could be the greatest or worst team in the history of Call of Duty, and I have no idea. I'm going to guess that they're not the greatest, though. I feel like I would have heard of them then.
I always say this, and it's kind of a common phrase. When people kind of talk to me and say, oh, you know what, my cousin is awesome at Call of Duty. He's the 4th best in Europe. And I say,
really?
It's funny that, because if you are, you know, if you're a good player, and if you're so good that you're the 4th best in Europe, like, I kind of say it with as little ego as possible, but if you're good at COD, I will know you. I will know who you are.
I find that there are degrees. There are people who think they're really great and they're really small ponds. Now, I have a story about this. There was, back when I was playing, way back, obviously I had my team and we didn't play, whatever. Regardless of how well we actually did back then, there was a friend of mine's brother at work said his team was fantastic. He said they were players on different console, but they said, the players on whatever console we were playing at the time, they said, they're fantastic. They never lose. They're great players. Whatever. Now, bearing in mind, it was a public team at the time. And so they came down. We played them on LAN. And we played, I think it was Favela. We played Capture the Flag.
Yeah.
It was like a hybrid between competitive rules and like public rules because they didn't want to go full competitive. The score ended up something like 25-0.
Quite close then.
Quite close on Capture the Flag, yes. I ended the game 96-12, and we had streaks on, so there was a nuke I dropped at the end to end the game.
Lovely jubbly. Well, enough of Bryce's antics. Let's get into the game and see how this one pans out. The first hill is underway, and yes, it's already scrappy. We're seeing Sketchy. He's on a 5-kill streak at the moment, as he is still contesting this hill. 6 kills for Sketchy, back-to-back now.
Trying to get it down. There's actually quite a fight going down in the middle for both of these two teams. Pretty much what we expect. Now, this is an influential kill here. Abs-potential, how are we saying that? I'm going to call him Abs the rest of this.
Absy.
Absy is going to try and go around the back. Now, this is a great rule run from him because he has managed to get through. Problem is, they don't have the spawn. He goes out, tries to challenge, and he should have really made at least something there, but not quite able to. But it will be the Saviors currently holding this one down. Team Spot trying to break, but they are not winning the slaying. And they're also spawning out. Yeah,
you can see a real mix between the kills. You can see Sketch top fragging already, however. You can see McGee and Pasco with 5 deaths already. But for me, I'm just looking at these spawns. Where are players actually heading towards? Because it's the last 30 seconds Sketchy needs to make this kill, and he is going to do that.
They need to get this pinch. They're just not able to break in.
Yeah, Sketchy needs to back him up and push in, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He should find another hit, and actually picked up by teammate Fallon.
I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I feel like he should have really pushed that with an RK5, not an M8.
Well, we'll reload that one, and now we're going to hit the rotate. 43-35 here, Team Spud just falling behind at the start. Sketchy's still on this, and you're going to see, in fact, all players from Spud drop bar Sketch on that rotate, really not having a good time there. And actually, the Saviors, they're outslaying them at the minute.
They certainly are. Sketchy's trying to do his best. He's 10-4 right now. And you know what, if they can take away this hardpoint, he's not going to be able to juggle it because McGee managed to get it in before him, but he gets another kill, looking for that second one, not able to get it. No streak's going to be on the board for him. But the Savior's doing really well to just continually push them out. And I'm wondering if Team Spud are just giving them too much room.
Yeah, they need to kind of close the gap, and that Semtex isn't going to help anyone. McGee does pick up one, that's the headshot. Looking for the second as the contention comes in, and he's going to be caught off guard by Abs. Camo used by Pasco and not utilized. That's a big mistake there.
It certainly is. As soon as you use that camo, you pretty much want to guaranteed make that kill. and then try and make a second one out of it. You know, I've said before, active camo, it's a big drawback is as soon as you fire, you come out of that camo, and all of a sudden you can lose a gunfight if you're not on points. But you do try to use it to get at least that first gunfight down, and if you're lucky, a second.
Okay, well, rotation's coming in, and still we see a lead for the Saviors. About a 25-point lead now. In fact, Sketchy is going to fall into the water, and actually, he's going down. McGee's answering back. Kinetic Armor has been popped, and there we go. Only one kill made from it, and Fallon actually getting taken down pretty quickly. It looks like the teamwork of Saviors is really shining through at the minute.
We can hear already things are starting to pop off, and Sketchy actually ends up bringing out the Tempest to pick up multiple kills for his team. Gonna shoot straight into the water there. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a Tempest fire into the water.
See how it would pan out. Be interested to see. I'm not sure if I have either, but there's not much water on these respawn game modes.
No. So I don't think I've ever seen it. I can't remember seeing it.
No, I agree. Shaky shots from Reset there. Sketchy picks up with the RK5. And McGee going through, bouncing back. And now trying to get back into the game. Fallon with a nice two-piece there.
Well, it looks like they're running 3 SMGs at this point. And just letting Sketchy hold it down. Now, McGee pretty much wants to stay alive here just to pick up this scrap time. Not going to be able to, though, but it is a very close game here, Momo. So little between these two teams. 8 points as we go into the second set of rotations.
Yeah, and CUDA ELO site from Pasco. He's a big fan of this. He keeps telling me about it, but for some reason, I just think it's almost a bit of a waste of one attachment, but he's an avid user.
Well, the only issue I have with this is putting on that ELO obviously takes up a point. So he's got grip on it. I can see, is the grip on it? I just want to check.
No grip.
No grip. So he's not running a grip. He's got to have stock on. He's got long barrel on. I can see the long barrel. So, oh my goodness, McGee just picked up 3 and full streaks.
Full streaks for McGee, and now this is where we see specialists come into play. 95 to 95 shortly will be the score if it carries on like this. Sketch and Pasco say no, though, as they break through. Made also brings the heat, and now it's a bit of a contest spot, and this is what we expect from the middle hill, Bryce.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I just want to point out here, the slaying now actually heavily in favor of Team Spud. They completely turn us around. I'm actually looking at Recite here.
Yeah.
He's actually only 6 and 15, so he's really struggling to begin with. So I'm hoping he can step it up if they want to actually win this.
Well, he tags one up. He's got a minute on the clock already, but not enough to stop Pasco in that camo. Sketchy coming in from behind. Something we see him do time and time again. Sketchy's that player which will always go for the spawns. He'll always be that backbone of a team. And you can see him here being very useful with an SMG as well. He likes to pick this up. As soon as he kills an SMG, he will snap that weapon away. And now, Sketchy takes down one, takes down the second. Gonna go hit the reload and should be watching his back. He's gonna find another. Not gonna be able to tag, get the kill on Recite as his friend helps him out.
Oh my goodness. So we're something to this ELO side as Pasco picks up 3 with it. Absolutely tearing people to bits. And I actually want to point out what Sketchy did just a second ago. I thought it was really clever. Now, they didn't actually have numbers in the hardpoint, so a lot of players would have actually pushed right out to the back for the spawn. Instead, he stayed close enough that if trades come in the hill without the numbers being there, he could come in and take them. And he actually ended up getting a 2-piece from it.
Okay.
So a lot of times, players would have pushed right out the back.
That's it, and but Sketchy wanted to stay a little bit closer to his team, and Hellstorm has been used by McGee. He does have that Lightning Strike, and Dart's still available. Dart's an interesting one, because I know the HCXD did get banned, so we'll see how this one pans out. 160 to 101 is the scoreline, as now Pasco 75 away from a Cerberus Bryce. He's on a 6-kill streak.
Well, actually, his teammate is preventing him bringing in anything yet. Lightning Strike has gone down. He should be able to pick up at least one here. He does. And now he's sitting there thinking, let me capture the hill. Oh, he's going to get it as well. Cerberus now coming down for him.
8-kill streak, 24 and 17. Sketchy is pretty much the same. So is McGee. Fallon is a little bit behind, but he seems to be playing the objective a bit more on that 1 minute and 20 already. He has kind of taken that role of Dodgers, who was that objective player, so maybe just a straight switch here. Nothing changed too much.
Well, staying alive so far. And just stay on the hill, allowing his teammates to push out. Now, this has worked in previous teams, but a lot of the time what we're seeing more and more is teams kind of be a little bit more hybrid with that objective role. I think, especially on Black Ops 3, the role of dedicated objective has become a little bit more muddied.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure about Pasco's camo. He's going to pick up a kill. It was better than his first one he used. Scythe is going to answer him back, though. And now, Bryce, we seem to have gone from a 95 to 95 point game to a dominating game.
Well, like I said, it was what? 8 points on them towards the end of the second rotation, first set of rotations.
Yeah, it was drawing at 95 apiece.
And now it's just been blown out of the water. Team Spud has literally just buried them here, and the slaying is getting more and more in favor of Team Spud. So maybe just a slow start from them, and then they really ended up picking it up.
Well, we're going to see Pasco and McGee hit that 30 bomb, Sketchy 25 and 20. And Fallon, actually, he's bringing the heat now. He's got 23 kills. He's got 1 minute and 30. But for me, it's really been a team effort. No one particularly stood out. Pasco's had his moments with, obviously, that CUDA. But all in all, a very, very good team effort here. And 220, we're in lethal range almost.
And it is still going to be very, very hectic here. Marty doing his very best to stay alive. Not quite able to. Trafford trying to do the exact same thing, but he ends up losing out as well. There's a lot of bullet fire going down, and sometimes for not a lot of results. And that service is actually coming from Pasco now.
Yep, and a double kill for Fallon. Heatwave may be used here from McGee, but I don't think he even needs it. 30. It's a 100-point game. Not the most useful Semtex, McGee. Might want to readjust your aim on that one. And here it comes, the Heatwave. I can only imagine. Pasco, he's just got to clean up. No.
Well, that Cerberus has also now actually got into the hill and is pushing it out for them. So this game should end right here. I mean, McGee might end up using the Heatwave just for it. Yeah, he knows it's over. 250 to 131. Now, that started off super close and super kind of trading between those two teams. And then there's actually the Saviors that were doing a lot of the work here.
McGee, bit of self-promotion there in the emblem with his Twitter. McGee. If you want to follow this 35 and 19 player, go ahead. He's nearly got 2 minutes on the clock. And yeah, McGee, you know, he's team with the best. You know, he's team with the likes of Tommy from Millennium. He's team with, you know, Gatarga.
I'm waiting for it. Go on.
That was it. That was the full stop.
Oh, that was the full stop. You're not going to mention it.
And he's team with Pasco.
Right. Okay. All right.
And me.
And you. There we go. That's exactly what I was waiting for.
I feel like we're a lot more zoomed out today.
Yeah, I think so too. It's like we're further away from you guys.
I want to be closer to them.
Anyway, I have a question for you, Momo, actually.
Okay.
While we're talking. If Pasco and McGee said to you, Momo, gotta play in this tournament.
Okay.
You know, big LAN. Not okay, medium LAN.
Medium.
Medium LAN.
Just a medium one.
You're not casting it. You're free.
Mm-hmm.
Would you pick up the sticks?
Yeah, I would.
Would you replace Fallon?
Yeah.
You, Sketchy.
I'm sorry, Fallon, but you'd be out.
You do the objective work.
I mean, I'd do it better than Fallon would. I'd do it better than McGee would. In fact, I don't think I think I'm better than this team, to be honest.
Oh, really? So you wouldn't? So it's more that the team's not good enough for you.
Hold on. I was just getting a phone call from Millennium. I think they're dropping Jerd. No probs.
I feel like if they were going to drop Jerd, you would be.
I'd be on the list. Maybe not at the top. Just.
I'm not sure you would be on any list.
I mean, if there's a list, probably would be on the list.
How? I would love to figure out the scenario of how desperate Millennium would have to be to go, Momo hasn't played in a while, let's get him.
I don't think he needs to be desperate. I think Tommy would use his Call of Duty brain and go, you know what? Perfect fit, Momo.
I don't
and
think
it has
that's
a ring
quite
to
right.
it. Mil Momo. Millennium Momo.
Mil Momo. That is an offer you would take as well, wouldn't it?
Give me a call. If they asked me to join now, I'd say no.
You'd say no?
Yeah, I would.
Why?
I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
No,
I would have to give up what I'm doing.
No, you wouldn't have to give up everything. You can always come back.
If I was going to a medium LAN, then sure, I'd pick up.
Are you saying that if you got an offer from Millennium, you say, look, Phil,
yeah,
come join us. Here's your salary. You know, Millennium. You're going to be playing with, well, you said Jerd, so you're going to be playing with Tommy, Mad Cat, and Swanee. You wouldn't go, well, I can go back to casting. I'm gonna.
I'd say no.
You would say no.
Yeah. The thing is, would you say no?
No, I would say yes.
But
of course
why?
I would.
Within 2 games of scrims, they'll have dropped you anyway.
I would have been in that team though.
And you can say I did it.
Yeah.
I made it, Mum. That's one to put obviously on the CV.
Always come back. It's not like my throat's gonna hurt a trophy and oh no,
well,
suddenly I don't know how to talk anymore.
No. I've made my decision. The controller is firmly hung up.
Hashtag CWLPS4 at COD World League. What would you do? And is Momo wrong?
It's my opinion. I can't be wrong.
Yes, you can.
You ask a question. You said, would
no, you're right. You have every right to your opinion, and I have every right to find your opinion completely stupid.
I feel that's I feel that's just not very fair.
Well, I have every right to kind of feel that way.
You do. And I have every right to respect that, as, you know, I'm a nice person. So I'll let you have your
No.
wrong
Out of this
opinion.
relationship, you're the horrible one. I'm the nice one.
I don't think we're in a relationship, to be honest.
Don't come sitting at me when you're not. You know, this is outrageous.
What is outrageous?
The fact that you had a little casting machine and now you're just being like this all weekend.
All weekend. It's only Saturday. I only
Yeah,
got up about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I count Friday as part of the weekend. It's our weekend. It's a day off.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
We've got a few tweets coming in. Again, do you know what keeps popping up on my newsfeed?
What
Ninja
keeps popping
Diffuse.
up? Oh, Ninja
That's
Diffuse.
one by Josh.
The Joshy one.
The
I can
Josh
see it 4
Ninja
times
Diffuse.
there on yours, actually. 4 times I can see that same video. Crazy.
It just keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. And to be fair, it was one of the craziest. You were sitting there at the time, which was me and Machine casting it, saying that was probably one of the craziest games we've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what was going on, to be honest. It was a bit of a brain boggler, as I like to call them.
Brain boggler.
Yeah. When your brain gets boogled.
Boogled.
Yeah. Do you like a good boogie, Bryce?
Do I like a good boogie?
I think
That's the worst segue I've ever heard into another topic.
I think you'd be a good
Bit
boogie.
of a brain boggler. Do you like a good boogie?
It kind of sounds similar.
Somewhat.
Well, the ban and protect is underway, and the flashbang concussion have gone overclock and rapid fire as well. Standard so far.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. That rapid fire coming in early is actually the biggest shock here. Usually they come in last 2. But right now, it actually hasn't. We've got Thermal coming out. Absy, as we've dubbed him. Or abstential?
I'm going to call him six-pack.
Abstinential.
Just call him 6-pack abs.
6-pack abs.
I'm just going to call him 6, actually. In fact, I'm going to call him Crim 6.
So what you've done there is just completely just change his name.
Didn't like it.
Well, I'm going to just call Pasco
You've got to go into it, though.
Parasite.
You've got to change it. So I went with abs, 6-pack, 6, Crim 6. I worked my way into
because that makes it better, does it?
Well, it sees the logic. You just...
Pasco, Parasite. There we go. Done. Done. Easy.
So you're saying Pasco is like Parasite?
Yes.
In what way?
Games every way. In fact, they're the same person. That's what people don't realise. Someone's saying you should assault me. That's not very nice.
I should.
Yeah. Lenzo Browell's just saying you should take me on.
Oh, good old Lenzo. I like Lenzo. He's one of my buddies.
We've got MG_psychotic says you are a beautiful peacock and I should let him fly, and that you're not wrong. I'll let him fly.
Is anyone agreeing with you? That's the question.
Out of any window, I will help you fly. What? They're saying I should.
Should what?
Help you fly.
Okay, well, a lot of you people getting involved. It's good to see McGee as well getting involved on Twitter. And,
maybe we shouldn't read that one out.
well, I like this one. It's Hyper Games versus everyone else in the EU Challenge Division.
Oh my god, how much does that look like Zed?
I think that is Zed. I think that actually is Zed as a kid.
That is... Do you know what film that's from?
Is it Richie Rich?
It is Richie Rich.
Film reference, got it!
Wow, I am impressed. That is the first time.
I used to love that film. Didn't he have like he had like a McDonald's in his house at one point?
Yeah.
Mate, I need to watch that film.
We should watch more films.
Together.
Yeah. Well, Monday we should pick a film.
Film
go
night.
watch it. Film night.
Okay.
Mexican then film. That's we're just planning our lives. It's okay. You guys
Our
get to be
futures
involved.
together.
Anyway, here's the interesting thing. Kinetic Overdrive active and Heatwave. Again, Glitch Overdrive, Heatwave and active. So, I think that the saviors have made a mistake.
And why is that, Bryce? Please elaborate on your bold accusations.
I don't think it's that bold. They forgot Kinetic.
That is very bold. I mean, kinetic, but it's so bold. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Kinetic's a must-have, I feel. Overdrive, Glitch, Heatwave and Camo.
I would take it over all of them but Camo.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, all of them but Heatwave. That's what I meant.
Heatwave's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
I think on I don't know. Camo can be very good, but this map in particular, that B bomb site, we know how strange it is, but can it on that wall run, pop kinetic, you go in, it's guaranteed pretty much, as long as you don't get anti-specialist, as I like to call it, when a heat wave counters. I could have just called it a counter.
Could have just called it heat waved.
Well, there it is, that B-bomb site. And the A1 inside as well.
Well, how do you think this one's going to go down, Phil? Now, we know nothing about these two teams other than what we've seen already.
How's this going to go down? I'm
Yes.
going to go with a very dominating.
Yes.
No, I think it'll be close. I think we're seeing 9 rounds minimum. I think we could see a 6-5 finish, but I'm going to go 6-4 to Team Spud.
Okay.
And I'm going to say McGee is the one to watch.
McGee, all right.
Darren, as he likes to be called in the real life situations.
Does he like to be called Darren, or are you just making that
Or
up?
Dazza.
Dazza.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call him Dazza from now on.
Dazza 565, I think it is.
Dazza 565. Anyway, we're jumping onto the attack now. And we're going to find out how this one goes down. It will be the Saviors, first of all. We're going to see exactly how this one goes down. Now, it looks like Pasco actually is in a fairly decent position to deflect this.
Well, we've seen one, and he's also made that kill very quickly, very convincing. And here we go. Pasco's seen 2 now, and he has taken down 2, but the third does get his number, and that is T-Rapper as Fallon answers back. And this should be a guaranteed round here now for Spud, unless something drastically wrong happens for
Did
them.
someone just try to snipe him?
Yeah, it was McGee, a.k.a. Dazza.
Well, looks like Dazza misses this shot. Even though he had... he tried to no-scope him.
Cheeky. Doesn't surprise me.
Ends up picking it up as well.
He's always been a bit of a cocky player, McGee has.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, always likes to play with a bit of flair. Doesn't mind, if it loses you the game sometimes.
Didn't he used to be a little bit unreliable back in the day?
He was basically Watson.
I was going to say this comparison.
Yeah, McGee is very much like Watson in the case of he will have this unmatchable desire to play Call of Duty for about 4 hours. And then it will disappear for about 4 months. But when he's on it, trust me, he's a very, very smart.
I do remember the stories
player.
back in the day of McGee like having just not practiced with his team and then somehow being the best player on that squad. You sit there going, just if he had, managed to... By the way, Pasco has hit a serious flank.
Pasco
He might actually pick up 2 players here.
Pasco, actually, in high school, he was a marathon runner, and you can see why. He was going right round the back. He does get taken down as Sketchy swoops on in. He picks up 2. Easy does that. Sketchy now levels things off even more and actually puts his team in an advantageous position. He's been shot from behind. That is McGee, who's going to pick up Maddie.
Call him Marty.
Marty K. Marty 2K. It's a 5K, by the way. $5,000 US, not 2K.
Yeah. Money in the bank.
It's all about the money, money, money. It's your bit now.
Well, what I'm going to choose to do is my next lyrics will be, well, Team Spud 2-0 up against the Saviors, who we do jump back onto the attack with.
Lyrical genius. As we do go on board with the attack, it is going to be the Saviors versus the Spuds. What team would you rather be on right now, Bryce?
I'd join Team Spud.
Who would you replace?
Fallon. Sorry, but I don't know Fallon.
No, I suppose
Well, I know Sketchy, Pasco, and McGee.
Well, Trapper is in the mix. He's made 1 already, and that was Sketchy who falls, and now putting more pressure on the opposing team. Maddie's actually going for the bomb plant. He's going to be challenged here, and Trapper's going to be taken down. That's from McGee and his RK5. McGee can find another one, but no, misses the snipe as Pasco levels things up and actually puts his team now in at the advantage. But they've got to retake this B-bomb site.
He should have probably had that as well. However, it's now 1 versus 3. It's Recite versus these 3. Now, he's going to see 1 already, and he does pick it up. Bomb is down as well, so he does have a bit of an advantage, but Pasco says no. And it's now 3-0. I want to point out McGee. He's not too far off his streaks.
4-0 for McGee. Pasco, he's looking all golden in the bottom right-hand corner of his screen now as he does unlock those specialists. And I thought this would be a little bit more even. I thought this would be a bit close, but Pasco says no. Jumping out, sponging 3 bullets. McGee actually popped off the snipe there as well. But so far, so good for Team Spud as they are 3-0.
Yeah, it's quite one-sided right now.
Protect the objective.
Do you think it's going to stay that way?
No, I think Saviors will get a couple of rounds. I think this could be the round where they do it. Pasco's actually got overdrive, but he's opted not to use it. But we saw Pasco go on this huge flank last time. Is he going to do the same?
Well, right now he has been seen, so it's a little bit more dangerous for him to flank here. And I reckon that overdrive will come on the defense.
McGee still opting to use this sniper rifle. Again, these flashy plays. You know what he can be like. Sketchy's marching on in with his black... Oh, I was going to say his black armor there, but it's actually the... I forgot the word. Dark matter. Dark matter, that's the one.
Dark matter.
Why did I say black? I don't have a clue. Maybe black, dark, I can get away with it. Anyway, that's besides the point. 4v2, and again, round should be going to Team Spud.
It should. They're actually getting pinched here at the same time. However, Trafford tries to make one, but it will be Fallon who picks up 2 to make it 4-0. This is more one-sided than I was expecting.
I chose this game as I wanted something close. I wanted a battle of the beasts, a battle of the amateur players. Trying to make it into the CWL, into this pro league.
Yeah, you thought you were smart, you were wrong.
It's not the first time, believe it or not, Bryce. Not the first time I've been
Do you ever
wrong.
feel like I rib you too much?
So it's funny you should say that. I've been thinking that for the past 4 years, but...
Whoa, come on. We've not been friends for 4 years.
Charges acquired.
Yeah, I suppose.
Barely been friends for 4 minutes. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I just feel like saying these things.
It's alright, you carry on.
I think it's because you're no longer ill, and that makes you fair game again.
I'm still a little bit ill.
How are you still a little bit ill?
Got the sniffles.
You were ill last week.
Yeah, it's now this week. I've been ill for a week, believe it or not. However, 2 players go down either side. Recite is going to get the bomb down. And Fallon and McGee versus Traffer and Recite. How do you see this one panning out?
Well, right now, it is serious advantage to the guys on the Saviours. They have the bomb down, which means they can play time. And Fallon?
Oh,
no, come on.
That's a big choke there from Fallon. In fact, this should be GG. This should be a defuse coming in, and Fallon has thrown that round away. I don't like the way you played that one. However, maybe it was just a slip of the finger.
Maybe you just didn't see him as well as we did. You got to remember, we do have that
Very
Codcaster
true.
vision coming on.
Oh, that's some nice front roll, that is. Not for long, though.
Are you a big swimmer, Phil?
I'm not a big swimmer. I enjoy swimming, especially in the mountain rooftop of Ethiopia, where Hunted is actually located.
Oh, that's nice. I could live on a mountain.
Yeah, look at that view.
I've always thought there should be an esports version of Survivor. What a great show that would be.
Me and we were talking obviously about the Hunger Games on the CWL, and we were saying which CWL player would be the last alive. I think we both came to an agreement of actually. Well, Jerd was in there, but I went with Broken.
Yeah, I can see that. However, right now we do have Recite in a 1 versus 4. And he might not actually make a single kill, and he does go down, getting traded away. It's 5-1 to Team Spud.
Well, I guaranteed 9 rounds, so if the Saviors let me down, I will be having serious words with them.
Didn't you guarantee 10 rounds? Didn't you say 6-4?
I said no. I think we'll see a guaranteed 9 rounds. I said it could go 6-5 from last round, but my prediction was 6-4. But it was to Team Spud. 5-1 is the current scoreline, and what specialists have we got? None at the moment.
No, not anything quite yet. They should be coming in here. Look at this. The problem is Team Spud are about to hit active camo and heatwave and kinetic if they get a kill. It's going to be an over that. See, that's the one you don't want in this scenario.
It's overdrive.
Yeah.
I wonder what heatwave's like in the water. Probably like that. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Traded
Anytime.
1 for 1 there. As Traffer and McGee do fall. Recite is trying to go onto this B-bomb site, and he's pushing forward, but I think it might be Sketchy at the back. He likes to position himself. No, it's Pasco, actually, who picks up 1. And here we go, overdrive.
This is a bold play.
It's a stupid play, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to charge out like that with a numerical disadvantage. But
So
it's even worse when you have the bomb, Bryce, and you now leave your buddy Recite in a 1 versus 3. He's not going to get much further, and the game is over. 6-1 is the scoreline. And let's just have a look at that scoreboard and see which players actually stood out to us.
Well, everybody on Team Spud, 7-4, 8-3, 5-2, and 7-2.
Yeah, real team effort again. I think it was the same as the Hardpoint, where it wasn't just one player stand out. It was a real team effort. Now
Yeah.
I'm a little bit excited.
Okay.
And you might want to ask me why.
I want to ask you why.
Pasco on Uplink. We've seen what he's capable
Oh,
of.
you mean that horrifically bad miss?
I think it's the worst miss I've ever seen in Uplink.
All right. Well, I remember that. We when did we play
We're
it?
back. We're zoomed in. We're here. We love you more. We're closer. Nice to meet you.
If I remember correctly, we played that last week, didn't we?
We did. We did. They didn't make it to this stage last week. They were already knocked out, Team Spud. And on Uplink Breach, he was probably about 14 centimeters away from the actual portal, and he still managed to miss somehow. Hopefully that won't happen again for Pasco.
Well, you would hope not. You got to be thinking realistically. You know, we've said it before, right? If you want to win, you have to be kind of prevalent in all game modes.
Yeah.
Hardpoint rotations, got to make sure they're on lock, and obviously you're slaying. On S&D, you got to have your tactics down. On Uplink, you've got to be able to throw the drone, for goodness sake.
It's not that hard. I appreciate there's certain spots which are harder than others. However, I do love watching a good amateur game, because sometimes you see some spectacular one-point plays, sometimes you'll see the horrifics, the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you like. But I do feel, with what I've seen on Hardpoint, with the outslaying, what I've seen on S&D,
Yeah.
I've got to favour Team Spud going into this one.
Yeah, you'd think so. It was a very close game to begin with on the Hardpoint, and then it looked like Team Spud just kind of went, well, okay, enough of that.
Yeah, they just kind of ran away with it. They did have a slow start, though.
Yeah.
And for me, that's, what the Saviors are all about. They do have what it takes. They were outslaying at one point, but they just let it slip. What we will do, though, we'll, of course, keep you up to date with the bracket. And the first team through to the round of 32 is Impact Reloaded. They make it through. They're taking down LAN players. Let's have a look at what roster they were up against, though. The Pingu.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
Huzi, and I've never heard of those. But they're through to the round of 32. They will face off against either LDLC or Destroyers. We'll keep you up to date with those. But I know there's a lot of IMP or Impact fans out there.
There most certainly is quite a dedicated fan base from them coming in here. And the Germans really have got a lot larger fan base. They're reminding me of the French. Problem for me still being is, of course, the Germans. Their best players, I still believe, along the lines of Kivy, Gun Elite. And those are the only two who've even started to make sort of an impact on the international scene. And even then...
And now Gun Elite's obviously taken a step back.
It has.
Kivy,
I'm hoping to see Kivy in a really good team, to be perfectly honest with you. I genuinely believe Kivy should probably be in a CWL team. And I'd actually like to see him team with 3 English guys.
Do you know what I actually thought for a brief second was, LDLC's kind of mix up and roster change.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been a perfect situation for Kivy to
that's
get
a good
involved
idea.
with. But if you're listening,
Kivy for Riri?
Shane, Kivy for Riri, I'll tell you what, that'd be...
I think he's good enough. I think it'd be a great thing. Recently...
Carbines, though, as well,
yeah,
is available.
I said it's difficult, Who do you replace in that roster? They're all about the same level.
Yeah, I mean Shane, Watson, and Niall, they're pretty much set in, so they seem to be in the mix. But there are options out there, and this is where you can be scouted if you're at home as well, and you're thinking, I want to be in a CWL team. Get yourself out there, get your name out there. Hopefully we'll be able to stream some of your games and we'll get in the mix. But we're going into Uplink Fringe next, and the Banner Protect is already underway, Bryce.
It most certainly is. And again, we're going to kind of just keep an eye on what is going on. No real predictions coming in from us other than the usual as well. Double Tack, Overdrive, and Overclock has gone. Wouldn't surprise me to maybe see an active camo as well, bearing in mind how powerful that is for Uplink.
Okay, well...
What do you think?
I think we're going to see the exact same Ban and Protect as always.
Yeah. There's the active camo and a HCXD, so pretty much as standard as can be. Overclock, Double Tack, Overdrive, active camo, and HCXD. The next two should be High Caliber and Rapid Fire. There they are. And now in comes the draft. I'm thinking Tempest, Scythe, Kinetic, Heatwave.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I would guarantee that Sketch is using that Tempest. McGee's gone for the Heat Wave, so Pasco maybe on that Kinetic. In fact, Pasco could actually go a Assault Rifle on this map. That's the thing about this team is they are quite versatile. Pasco can rock both assault rifle SMG. Same for McGee.
Wow. It does mean that Sketchy and Pasco should be taking the lethals. Which means Scythe for Pasco, and it means Abs.
Ooh,
Oh no,
Pasco's gone for Vision Pulse on Uplink. Cheeky.
Not 100% on that, if I'm honest.
What about Psychosis? Would you rather have that?
No, I really wouldn't. They should have gone double lethal. I'm going to just put that out there.
I'm going to say they can go triple ability if they wish.
But not these.
But, I mean, with what's left,
I don't know. I would. I mean, Vision Pulse is better than Psychosis. And obviously Glitch is, just don't take that, whatever you do.
Yeah, maybe Scythe would have been the option.
I think Scythe is better than Vision Pulse.
On this game mode, yeah.
Yeah. If it was Capture the Flag, I would maybe say differently, but...
I'm interested to see how Pasco plays this, because you can really get if you get a drone and then you pop the Vision Pulse close to the enemy base, you know whether you can get a 2 or a 1. And sometimes, how many times do we say, oh, they could have got a 2 there?
Yeah.
They could have, but they didn't realise what we can see. Well, if they have Vision Pulse, they can see exactly what we can see. As we are going into this, 35 seconds left on the clock.
I don't know. This whole debate coming in about the specialist, I said, I feel like we should release an official tier list in our opinion at some point.
Where would what would you? Here's a question, Bryce. What would you match me to? What do you think I should be using?
I'm gonna go with Heatwave.
Spot on. Spot on.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about. You do, Bryce. Do you know what I'd put you with, Bryce?
Go.
Psychosis.
Well, unfortunately, you're wrong.
I've seen your YouTube, man. You can pull off some miracle plays.
There is actually a Psychosis play on my YouTube as well, and it was right at the start of the game, and it's hilarious because I pretend to be a bot and get across the bridge on Hunted and get 2 kills out of it. Doesn't work anymore though. And pros slightly cleverer than the people I was playing.
Who were you playing? Just some.
I think I was playing with pros against some people on just GBs.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, potentially the last map of the series as we go into Fringe Uplink here. Team Spud doing pretty well so far, getting further than they usually do. Maybe that is the switch up between obviously Dodgers and Fallon. I wonder what Dodgers is thinking, watching his team go through and be successful without him.
Well, I think it's degrees of success. I don't think he's going to get, oh no, they're now champions of the world.
I mean, they basically are.
Well, are they though?
No.
No, I feel realistically like Team Spud, if they get past the next round, then you'll be like, okay, maybe. Getting through to the Sunday, big deal. Not so much just winning this game.
Well, do they get to the championship Sunday? You decide. Lol joke, you do not. They decide. They're into the game. It's Fringe Uplink, and we're going to see how this one pans out. Pasco's back on that CUDA hype with his ELO sight. Wow. He's just a bit curious about what's behind him at the moment.
Well, they've actually lost the kills here, so Pasco is actually just going to have to hold this one up for a second.
See, when Pasco made that first kill, I would have loved to have seen him grab that drone. It did seem like he was playing a little bit slow, but drone's now been put into their base, and now they can push down the tracks. Let's see what Pasco and the boys can do on this attack here.
I think if there's one thing we've kind of learnt from the CWL teams is that aggression does pay off.
Yes.
And it's, if you get that drone control locked down and get it away, you just create so many more opportunities for yourself. Like this, for instance, they don't have full numbers, but they're now just pushing through. And this is actually going to be a 2-point play.
Should be. He's passed it to his teammate. I don't think Abs actually knew that it was coming. There is one person trying to stop it, but smoke grenades in the mix is going to help. I like that play.
It's very rare you see smokes actually on Uplink.
No, the only time you see them is CTF, really.
You do well. Pasco's actually going for it. This is the aggression I kind of hope to see, and already taking one down. And this should be a 2-point play. That player is not going to stop them. Bringing it back to 2-2. McGee will be in a position to do something about this, but it looks like he's going to try and watch the cross. Yeah,
McGee trying to get those cut-offs isn't going to be able to. Pasco's causing a bit of a stir in the enemy base with this CUDA ELO sight. Here he is, camping up another now, and Pasco actually 3-kill streak isn't going to find the 4th as the LCAR over a sight has been brought up.
It certainly has, and Again, I'm sitting here kind of curious as to, with the kills that they're actually making, they could have probably tried to get another little bit of control in. And I say this because realistically, getting drone control in this sort of scenario, don't get me wrong, I don't always expect you to be able to make that one. But what I do expect is to be able to use it in a kind of an offensive manner. You pull the other team apart, you push forward, they have to then react to where you're telling them to go with that drone, rather than you just kind of slugging it out.
Okay, well, it is 2-2. Both teams have scored and put the points on the board, but Pasco's actually going to be the first one to make it 4. And actually, he's made the majority. In fact, he's made all the objective plays here in this game so far, Bryce.
No throw though, but it looks like Fallon is going to end up receiving this one. And he actually might be able to make another 2 here. Boost light coming off. No. Oh, and he misses the 1.
Oh, well, Pasco's going to try and even it up and actually get that drone back, but he's got Vision Pulse. When does he use this? When do you think's the best time for a Vision Pulse to come in? When you have the drone, maybe? Oh, or
maybe just I think it's better, maybe better on the defense, to be perfectly honest with you. Just trying to stop a push, allow your teammates to help and pick up those kills. But even then, it's not. I mean, maybe if they get into a stall situation around barn and they can't really progress forward, then possibly.
See, this is the difference, I would say, between a CWL player and an He didn't have a clue what he's going on. But actually, it probably is going to help him. Sketch has just picked up a big 2-piece, and I think they should convert this into a 2-point play.
Yeah. I think a lot of CWL teams in that case would have probably gone for that 1 over barn.
I think that's what he was trying, but he just couldn't get on the ledge. He was just going in and out, and I think his movement definitely not up to par with those CWL players, but that's why they're currently an amateur team. You know, they're trying to make it, and here's Pasco. Pasco's got to and should make another 2-point play. Look where the people, or play, should I say, of Saviors are.
It's a little bit weird, isn't it? And I think it's just got to be down to drone control. They're not able to get it. When they do get it, they kind of end up losing those crucial kills and not really getting anywhere.
Well, Sketchy's made a big kill on the defense there. Fallon's going to pick up 1, but also take down his teammate. That clone is high and mighty and will be taken down by Fallon. 8-2 is the current scoreline. And Trapper trying to make a 2-point, makes the 1 with the kinetic. And actually, Fallon's just said no. 13-8 for Fallon. Good stuff.
How did Pasco win that one? Doesn't make any sense to me. However, McGee just holding down mid for his team, looking to try and make that top barn fight. Probably needs a little bit of a better angle to make that viable. But here we go again. And again, this is the aggression I do like to see. Pasco taking that drone away and saying, you know what? You guys are setting up for a gunfight. We're not gonna have a gunfight. What we're gonna do is try and push for a drone throw.
Well, Pasco is going to be pincered, but no, he's running towards his teammate. He's shouting help. Sketchy does just that. What a teammate he's been today, and that should be a nice 1-point play. It does get sucked in there, and Pasco also making the plays and turning into an astronaut as he just boost jumps off the end of that one.
As you can see, both teams continuously doing this, and you're going to see Fallon almost made a 2-piece there as well. But 9-3 currently the team Spud going into the second half. Pretty dominating from them, to be honest.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice bit of chain-up play. I think the Saviors could have done more on the defense. I think it was a bit sloppy from them sometimes, but Pasco played well that side.
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't seem they were able to make. They were making kills, but maybe just not in the right areas where they needed them.
Well, specialists are going to come in on the second side here of Uplink. You're going to see Heatwave. You're going to see all kinds of things, and McGee's actually changed to that golden M8. Very flashy.
A little bit bling.
As he rips 1 head off, Recite's number is gone. She's going to regen his health here and actually not going to chance to, as Manny is going to take that away.
Well, right now you can see Sketchy looking to try and do something here. Not quite able to either. But Fallon now going to be pushing through. He is looking to try and make a few more kills here. They make a few more kills and start getting that dangerous position behind the cart. Unfortunately, they've lost the kills, so the drone's sitting behind them. Otherwise, Sketchy right now, you know, 1 more kill and he's good. That's a point.
Oh, he couldn't make that kill. That head glitch coming in from Traffer there. But that satellite has been reset. Now, one thing I will say is, as the time ticks away, the boys of Team Spud, they're getting happier and happier. The less time on that clock, the better it is for them. Fallon, bit of bling himself with that diamond.
But they've overextended through train again, and Sketchy's now taking away drone control. I think if there's an issue here for the Saviors, it's their concentration of the way they're actually playing around this drone. Now, is this going to be the 1 point? He's actually too low for it. So that, even if we released it, I don't think it was going to work. But Recite's trying to pick up some kills as well. I think not only is the slaying not going their way, but we've seen teams lose, right, when slaying doesn't go their way. And that's pretty much down to, you know, how you end up controlling the drone here. Abzi actually going to end up putting in a 2. So it's not a million miles away.
That's a good play there from the boys, but Pasco's actually said, you know what, I'm running right back out. Then Pasco's fallen from Recite. McGee answers back and trades that kill. McGee may find another, but no, Abs actually puts that one on the board here. And I'm waiting for Sketchy to pull this Tempest out.
Well, you can actually see Fallon doing a lot of damage here on the side. If he picks up this kill as well, it's going to be bad news for the Saviors. He's going to be in a great position now if they push forward.
Yeah, you can actually get right to the back here. This kinetic armor should be used. And it is, but I wouldn't say it's been utilized. I think there's been a very slow push. I would like to see this drone go through the middle and not train, but I think eventually it is going to go in. But is it a 2? Is it a 1?
It's a 1.
It's a good one. I think McGee was wise to go from that, but I will reiterate what I said there. They got 3 or 4 down at one point. Fallon was in the spawn with Kinetic. They got the drone, but they pulled it back trains. I would have liked to have seen them just push through Zed.
Yeah. I think you are right. It was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
And that really cost them there. They ended up burning 2 specialists as well. Kinetic and Tempest went down for a 1-point play. And I think we even saw, who ended up having that Tempest?
Sketch.
Yeah, he actually ended up getting caught in the sprint with it as well. So he could have, if he hadn't been in that sprint, he probably would have made another kill, and that really would have changed it up.
Looks like Pasco is changing things up as he goes into hardware with this drone. But what's he planning? Where's he going?
Recite's on a 5 streak. He's 25 and 20.
Better than his hardpoint for sure. Trafford's taken down McGee. Pasco's still got that drone as he's finally been taken down, and that was from actually Maddie.
What have I said about Tin and taking that drone? Never. Never take that drone, Tin. It's just too much of a choke point. It's too easy for them to shut you down.
At one point, it isn't going to go in, and we're going to see Pasco probably reset this. He may actually run it himself, but he could actually come into the crossfire of one of these players. He's right next to him.
Oh my goodness, and now he's going to pop the Psychosis.
It's a 2-point play. All of his team had pushed up. Oh, that's a big mistake.
Fortunately, he had that Psychosis there, Momo, or, you know, the exact same thing would have happened.
Well, he didn't know that there was no one around, but of course, if there were people around, it would have fooled them, trickery.
It would not have fooled them.
It would have been like magic from Dynamo.
Nobody would have been fooled in the slightest.
I mean, I can't guarantee that.
I can. I will guarantee it. You can't guarantee it because all your guarantees turn out to be rubbish. What's a company with really bad guarantees? If you're that company.
I'm not going to slander any companies.
I was trying to think of a company. I was slander a company, I just can't think of one.
I don't really know. I never really look at the guarantee on things. I just buy it, and then if it works, it works.
Okay, you're like getting a guarantee from a boot sale. That's what it's like.
Well, Pasco and Fallon do pick up another 3 and 30 seconds left on the clock. It's looking all but done here, Brycey. As the game is going to end.
McGee's being a scumbag.
McGee's just chilling. He's having some fun. He's getting a bit of raising before the sun goes down.
Up on the hardware it goes, and down go the hopes of the Saviors. The Saviors are going to lose this game 12-7, and it will be a 3-0 coming in for Team Spud. Team Spud, obviously, are going to progress through into that next round, into that round of 32.
Okay, well, good stuff. They're the second team to do it, along with, of course, Impact Reloaded. And what we can do now is go away and have a look at the bracket and see what game we can bring you next. Do let us know. We will tweet out the bracket if you want to get involved. It's just at play.eslgaming.com. You go into the Black Ops 3 section, and you can actually have a look at the bracket. Do get in contact. Hashtag CWLPS4. $5,000 on the line, and Fallon, Pasco, McGee, and Sketch are one step closer, heavily outslaying their enemy teammates.
Yeah, I think so.
Heavily outslaying the enemy.
Yes.
Full stop. Teammates as well were very, very good, and all in all, it's a nice 3-0 victory for Team Spud as they do progress on to the round of 32.
They certainly do, and they're likely to come up. I'm just going to find them down the bottom of the bracket, aren't they?
I think they're at the top.
They're okay, that's what I said. There they are. So, potential to play either Y6 or Team AIM. I'm going to say Y6. Actually,
yeah,
in this
Y6.
case. That might actually be a really good game. Y6 are actually pretty handy. And
Okay.
that might be a little bit more difficult for them to win, actually.
It definitely will be. I mean, round of 32 to 16 to quarter semis, finals, and everything. It gets harder as you go along. It's simple. It sounds simple. It is simple. But 3-0, it was simple for them. As I've said, it's been quite simple. Have you had a simple time here?
I think it's simply the best.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
Guys, I'm going to go and take a break, the 10-minute break, just to simply get over what Bryce has just said.
Yeah.
We will be back very, very shortly with another game. Get in contact, hashtag CWLPS4. Tell us which game you would like to see. We'll see you in 10.
Uplink is a favorite mode within the esports community because of its fast-paced, aggressive nature. This mode features two teams clashing in an attempt to score a satellite drone into an enemy's floating uplink station. The drone will be spawned in a neutral point between players' locations. Players must then get to the spawn location to fight over control of the drone. Every drone thrown through the uplink station scores 1 point. However, 2 points are awarded if the drone is carried through the goal. Uplink forces players to push into enemy territories and to hold their position. The player with the drone loses their equipped weapon, but gains an additional protective armor, assisting them while their guard is down. After 2 rounds, alternating between map sides, the team with the most points wins the match. Uplink brings on a whole new aggressive gameplay that requires players to solidify their teamwork and conquer map control.
Because I was a substitute for Infused, I was always just on the sideline, just waiting to play, and I was so close to playing them multiple times, and I was gutted every time I couldn't.
I knew that I'd have to form my own team after Season 1 to get into Season 2, then prove myself there.
I was a substitute for Exa Esports. Basically, the only 4 top players that weren't in the league was us 4, so we didn't really have a choice of many players, so we just got together. We've been playing together for probably around 2 months. I think if we sort out people's attitudes, we can easily be a long-term team.
I think our Uplink game is on par with some of the top US teams because of how much dedication and time we put into it. CTF is kind of a strong point as well. We don't really lose that too much, but Uplink is certainly there. I think the thing that's special about our team is that we have all such good individual talent that we could compete easily with the top teams.
We can easily get top 4 in the league. We've already beaten CWL teams at events, so we know how good we are.
I played Call of Duty XP. We finished 8th. We got a pretty good amount of money from that. When I came back from Call of Duty XP, I went on the main French television, so everyone didn't know I was going on there. They were just eating their thing with their family. They said, "What is it Max? What is going on?" The day after that, at high school, everyone was like, "Yo, Max, you're really playing really video games? What was that?" But that feeling was really strange. I can't even describe it right now, because people were looking at me in a way they didn't look at me before. I had either the choice to quit and the choice to practice every single day harder and harder. It could be my last 1 or last 2 years in the game. When I came around in Supremacy, I wasn't the captain at all, but we don't like to say that either this guy or this guy is the captain. I mean, we're working as a unit, of course, but the ideas have to come from somewhere. I think I'm the most experienced player in my team. I played for 10 years. I went to a lot of international events, played for a lot of money as well, so I know what pressure means, and I'm really not afraid of it.
In one of the more fast-paced modes in multiplayer, Hardpoint sees 2 teams rushing to secure a specified territory on the map. Once a location has been locked down, the team holding the position has to fight to protect it. If players from both teams are within the hardpoint, the area is considered contested until only one team remains in its location. During gameplay, the hardpoint territory will respawn several times to a new location, forcing all players racing to lock down the new area every 60 seconds. first team to a score of 250 points within the 5-minute time limit wins the game. Stand your ground in this take on King of the Hill, as every second counts.
I've been playing full-time for like over a year now. I quit college and I took last year off, spent the whole Advanced Warfare as a full-time job in Epsilon. I'd like to say it's paying off for me, yeah. I've travelled across the world, earned a fair bit of money, done things I'd never do if I wasn't playing Call of Duty and done it full-time. When I first started playing Call of Duty full-time, it wasn't the best idea in their minds, but I think as it developed and I started going to events, it's like it actually can do something. Then it started following me on social media, checking everything I was doing, watching all the live streams, and now it's at the point where it's literally watching all the time. My whole family's always watching me every time I go away. My leadership role is one of the main things like in our whole team. I've played for that long, I've been in every situation possible, like I just know what to do, like I don't get nervous at like last maps I've played so many of them. I just make sure to stay calm, like I'm the one who calls the strats, so if someone's not comfortable with doing something, then I'll tell them like just don't worry about it, like it is what it is. Like if we do it as a team, we win as a team, we lose as a team, so if something goes wrong, it is what it is. I'm very happy with stage one, especially with like teaming new players and people who what you can say haven't done much in their career. We've done really well. We was actually second throughout most of the league. I didn't expect as much, but they surprised me, they surprised everyone. I always aim to win.
My whole family follow through any events I attend and online. I'll always get a message from my mum or one of my brothers saying, "Oh, how are you doing?" I'd like to say I could stick around for a couple more years. I feel like I've got the capability and skills to do so. The time I'd stop is when I feel like I'm not helping a team and I'm holding them back. So I wouldn't really want to go from competing at the top to then just dropping and competing for the lower places. So whenever I feel like that's happening, then I know that's it. It's kind of a weird one because you never really expect to be known from playing a game, and to be known to the extent where you've got 70,000 plus followers. It's just a weird feeling. My main following is from the French side of things because I've teamed with the likes of Gotarga, Carnage, Maxi, Riskin, and under the organisation Millennium, who are French too. So it sort of all blew up for myself when I did go on to take on that challenge with teaming the French players and the French roster. I'd say in France I'd get recognised more than I would in the UK. I don't speak a lot of French, but if there was one thing I'd like to say to all of the French supporters is merci beaucoup.
Before last year, I don't think I went like on a plane for over like 10 years, and then in the last year I've been to 8 different countries, so it says a lot how much God can do for you. My mum wasn't really a fan before when I first started playing, but then when she started seeing I was making money from it and I was actually gaining like social media followers, she started to come along more, and now she watches my events all the time. It's important because she's the most important person to me and my family. She still roasts me. She roasts me for losing. I've been in the last 5 grand finals and I've only won 2 of them, so she always says, "Oh, you always say you're going to win the next ones." I think communication is probably the biggest key to any player. It's the most important thing. That's what I've been trying to work on personally this season. Like little situations where, like telling your teammates, "I've got this, you don't have to watch this," it's just really key, especially high tempo games. I'm already thinking about champs because I don't think there's any way I'd fall out of the top 6. So champs is definitely the main priority. Like as long as we, whatever team I'm in, as long as we cash out at champs, then this year's been successful. Now all I care about is winning. I don't care if I drop 50 kills, I don't care if I drop 10, as long as I win, that's all I care about.
I'm Mark Braceland, aka Marky B, and I play for Team Infused. I'm also the captain of the squad. My teammates are Zero, PT and Urban. When this team first came about, it was sort of random as such because there was a lot of different squads bouncing about, and I wouldn't really say we were the leftovers, but I think that it was just one of those teams that just got sort of flung together for an event, and it sort of worked out.
I'm the picky one, to be honest, in the team. If I see something wrong, I'm going to say what's wrong. The way we react to it is like a good environment, unlike any other team I've been in, where we actually try to get better as a team rather than just try and benefit ourselves.
I talk to these guys on a daily basis. They're some of my best friends, and I see them and talk to them more than some of my better friends that I know from real life as such.
We've got a lot of chemistry because we've teamed together for the longest in Europe, so it's just overall it's like good vibes within the team.
As a team, we're all great friends in game and out.
If I could pick an all-star team, I'd just pick these guys. think that there's a lot of people who just give up as the first sign of just sort of defeat. If things go wrong, they might get dropped from a team, they might just give up. But you just got to keep going, get back on it and just keep grinding, try and get better. Look to constantly improve not only yourself but your team. The results will come and you'll eventually get success. There's obviously a lot of pressure in terms of getting results, but I don't really feel it, to be honest. I think that I've been doing this for years and it just feels sort of natural. My friends and family are actually really supportive. My mum watches every single event I go to. My girlfriend's been to a couple of events with me, and my friends watch every event I go to as well, so they're all really supportive of it and they all really enjoy Call of Duty. When I first started playing Call of Duty, I didn't really expect to be a sort of like figurehead of the scene or whatever, but I suppose that's sort of the position I'm now in, and obviously I sort of embraced that, and main motivation is like just achieving success. But at the same time, when I'm playing Call of Duty, I've always been a guy that's really enjoyed the game. I've always enjoyed putting loads of time into it. Right now it just feels like it's our job just to succeed, and just that we're going to do that. There's no like things that are flinging me off my path. Potentially one day be a world champion. That's obviously what I want to do one day.
Competed in America for a prolonged period of time, one of the only European players to do that with reasonable success, I guess. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to return home from America, but luckily I immediately landed within, in my opinion, the best European team alongside three of the best, if not the three best European players. The catalyst for my parents' support was Call of Duty XP. We ended up coming fourth, and that was the largest tournament so far. $1 million tournament. We took home 100,000 split between four of us, which is, at the age of 18, it's a substantial amount. And when that check comes through the door, that's the light bulb in your parents' brain, I guess, and that's when it makes them think, you know, this is legitimate. In the past, I have had sort of minuscule thoughts crop up every so often about retirement, and that's natural, especially when you have unfortunate results at a tournament. In a tournament like Call of Duty Championships, perhaps tournaments that fall significantly below your own expectations, it's natural to have thoughts about retirement, and especially given the fact that the age of retirement is so young in Call of Duty. You need to take things seriously, you need to do everything you can to improve as a player, and when the time comes, hopefully you have other avenues to pursue within gaming.
Yeah, I think that we've got a team with the four most popular Spanish players in Spain, so we've got a really huge fan base.
I love my fans because if we don't have fans in the COD, maybe we are not here in the COD World League. They are basically the most important for us, for the motivation when we play.
I think that we are not representing only Giants Gaming. We are representing Spain, and that's really a good chance for all of us. I think Spanish people were really happy when we qualified because they really didn't know that a Spanish team can make it into the league, and they were really happy. But we are feeling, I think, a little bit under pressure because they are looking constantly to us. We need to practice with better people to improve our skills, our rotations, and that stuff in the game that we couldn't get better in Spain.
To be honest, that league is very, very, very hard. You got such amazing teams like Millennium, Infused, Vitality, a lot. But saying that we have no chance would be a mistake.
Uplink is a favorite mode within the esports community because of its fast-paced, aggressive nature. This mode features two teams clashing in an attempt to score a satellite drone into an enemy's floating uplink station. The drone will be spawned in a neutral point between players' locations. Players must then get to the spawn location to fight over control of the drone. Every drone thrown through the uplink station scores 1 point. However, 2 points are awarded if the drone is carried through the goal. Uplink forces players to push into enemy territories and to hold their position. The player with the drone loses their equipped weapon, but gains an additional protective armor, assisting them while their guard is down. After 2 rounds, alternating between map sides, the team with the most points wins the match. Uplink brings on a whole new aggressive gameplay that requires players to solidify their teamwork and conquer map control.
Because I was a substitute for Infused, I was always just on the sideline, just waiting to play, and I was so close to playing them multiple times, and I was gutted every time I couldn't.
I knew that I'd have to form my own team after Season 1 to get into Season 2, then prove myself there.
I was a substitute for Exa Esports. Basically, the only 4 top players that weren't in the league was us 4, so we didn't really have a choice of many players, so we just got together. We've been playing together for probably around 2 months. I think if we sort out people's attitudes, we can easily be a long-term team.
I think our Uplink game is on par with some of the top US teams because of how much dedication and time we put into it. CTF is kind of a strong point as well. We don't really lose that too much, but Uplink is certainly there. I think the thing that's special about our team is that we have all such good individual talent that we could compete easily with the top teams.
We can easily get top 4 in the league. We've already beaten CWL teams at events, so we know how good we are.
I played Call of Duty XP. We finished 8th. We got a pretty good amount of money from that. When I came back from Call of Duty XP, I went on like the main French television, so everyone like didn't know I was going on there. They were just eating their thing with their family. They thought, what is it Max? Like, what is going on? The day after that, at high school, everyone was like, yo, Max, you're really playing with video games? What was that? But that feeling was really strange. I can't even describe it right now, because people were looking at me like, in a way, they didn't look at me before. I had either like the choice to quit and the choice to practice every single day harder and harder. It could be my last 1 or last 2 years in the game. When I came around in Supremacy, I wasn't the captain at all, but we don't like to say that either this guy or this guy is the captain. I mean, we were working as a unit, of course, but the ideas have to come from somewhere. I think I'm the most experienced player in my team. I played for 10 years. I went to a lot of international events, played for a lot of money as well, so I know what pressure means, and I'm really not afraid of it.
In one of the more fast-paced modes in multiplayer, Hardpoint sees 2 teams rushing to secure a specified territory on the map. Once a location has been locked down, the team holding the position has to fight to protect it. If players from both teams are within the hardpoint, the area is considered contested until only one team remains in its location. During gameplay, the hardpoint territory will respawn several times to a new location, forcing all players racing to lock down the new area every 60 seconds. The first team to a score of 250 points within the 5-minute time limit wins the game. Stand your ground in this take on King of the Hill, as every second counts.
I've been playing full-time for like over a year now. I quit college and I took last year off, spent the whole Advanced Warfare as a full-time job in Epsilon. I'd like to say it's paying off for me, yeah. I've travelled across the world, earned a fair bit of money, done the things I'd never do if I wasn't playing Call of Duty and done it full-time. When I first started playing Call of Duty full-time, it wasn't the best idea in their minds, but I think as it developed and I started going to events, it's like it actually can do something. Then she started following me on social media, checking everything I was doing, watching all the live streams, and now it's at the point where it's literally watching all the time. My whole family's always watching me every time I go away. My leadership role is one of the main things like in our whole team. I've played for that long, I've been in every situation possible, like I just know what to do, like I don't get nervous at like last maps I've played so many of them. I just make sure to stay calm, like I'm the one who calls the strats, so if someone's not comfortable with doing something, then I'll tell them like just don't worry about it, like it is what it is. Like if we do it as a team, we win as a team, we lose as a team, so if something goes wrong, it is what it is. I'm very happy with stage 1, especially with like teaming new players and people who what you can say haven't done much in their career. We've done really well. We was actually second throughout most of the league. I didn't expect as much, but they surprised me, they surprised everyone. I always aim to win.
My whole family follow through any events I attend and online. I'll always get a message from my mum or one of my brothers saying, "Oh, how are you doing?" I'd like to say I could stick around for a couple more years. I feel like I've got the capability and skills to do so. The time I'd stop is when I feel like I'm not helping a team and I'm holding them back. Because I wouldn't really want to go from competing at the top to then just dropping and competing for the lower places. So whenever I feel like that's happening, then I know that's it. It's kind of a weird one because you never really expect to be known from playing a game, and to be known to the extent where you've got 70,000 plus followers, it's just a weird feeling. My main following is from the French side of things, because I've teamed with the likes of Gotarga, Carnage, Maxi, Riskin, and under the organisation Millennium, who are French too, so it sort of all blew up for myself when I did go on take on that challenge with teaming the French players and the French roster. I'd say in France I'd get recognised more than I would in the UK. I don't speak a lot of French, but if there was one thing I'd like to say to all of the French supporters is merci beaucoup.
Before last year, I don't think I went on a plane for over 10 years, and then in the last year I've been to 8 different countries, so it says a lot how much God can do for you. My mum wasn't really a fan before when I first started playing, but then when she started seeing I was making money from it and I was actually gaining social media followers, she started to come along more, and now she watches my events all the time. It's important because she's the most important person to me and my family. She still roasts me. She roasts me for losing. I've been in the last 5 grand finals and I've only won 2 of them, so she always says, "Oh, you always say you're going to win the next ones." I think communication is probably the biggest key to any player. It's the most important thing. That's what I've been trying to work on personally this season. Little situations where, telling your teammates, "I've got this, you don't have to watch this," it's just really key, especially high tempo games. I'm already thinking about champs because I don't think there's any way I'd fall out of the top 6. So champs is definitely the main priority. As long as whatever team I'm in, as long as we cash out at champs, then this year's been successful. Now all I care about is winning. I don't care if I drop 50 kills, I don't care if I drop 10, as long as I win, that's all I care about.
I'm Mark Bryceland, aka Marky B, and I play for Team Infused. I'm also the captain of the squad. My teammates are Zero, PT and Urban. When this team first came about, it was sort of random as such because there was a lot of different squads bouncing about, and I wouldn't really say we were the leftovers, but I think that it was just one of those teams that just got sort of flung together for an event, and it sort of worked out.
I'm the picky one, to be honest, in the team. If I see something wrong, I'm going to say what's wrong. The way we react to it is like a good environment, and unlike any other team I've been in, where we actually try to get better as a team rather than just try and benefit ourselves.
I talk to these guys on a daily basis. They're some of my best friends, and I see them and talk to them more than some of my better friends that I know from real life as such.
We've got a lot of chemistry because we've teamed together for the longest in Europe, so it's just overall it's good vibes within the team.
As a team, we're all great friends, in-game and out.
If I could pick an all-star team, I'd just pick these guys. I think that there's a lot of people who just give up as the first sign of just sort of defeat. If things go wrong, they might get dropped from a team, they might just give up. But you just got to keep going, get back on it and just keep grinding, try and get better. Look to constantly improve not only yourself but your team. The results will come and you'll eventually get success. There's obviously a lot of pressure in terms of getting results, but I don't really feel it, to be honest. I think that I've been doing this for years and it just feels sort of natural. My friends and family are actually really supportive. My mum watches every single event I go to. My girlfriend's been to a couple of events with me, and my friends watch every event I go to as well, so they're all really supportive of it and they all really enjoy Call of Duty. When I first started playing Call of Duty, I didn't really expect to be a sort of figurehead of the scene or whatever, but I suppose that's sort of the position I'm now in, and obviously I sort of embrace that, and main motivation is just achieving success, but at the same time when I'm playing Call of Duty, I've always been a guy that's really enjoyed the game. I've always enjoyed putting loads of time into it. Right now it just feels like it's our job just to succeed, and just that we're going to do that. There's no things that are flinging me off my path. Potentially one day be a world champion, that's obviously what I want to do one day.
Competed in America for a prolonged period of time, one of the only European players to do that with reasonable success, I guess. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to return home from America but luckily I immediately landed within, in my opinion, the best European team alongside 3 of the best, if not the 3 best European players. The catalyst for my parents' support was Call of Duty XP. We ended up coming 4th, and that was the largest tournament so far. $1 million tournament. We took home 100,000 split between 4 of us, which is, at the age of 18, it's a substantial amount. And when that check comes through the door, that's the light bulb in your parents' brain, I guess, and that's when it makes them think, you know, this is legitimate. In the past, I have had sort of minuscule thoughts crop up every so often about retirement, and that's natural, especially when you have unfortunate results at a tournament, in a tournament like Call of Duty Championships, perhaps tournaments that fall significantly below your own expectations. It's natural to have thoughts about retirement, and especially given the fact that the age of retirement is so young in Call of Duty. You need to take things seriously, you need to do everything you can to improve as a player, and when the time comes, hopefully you have other avenues to pursue within gaming.
Yeah, I think that we've got a team with the 4 most popular Spanish players in Spain, so we've got a really huge fan base.
I love my fans because if we don't have fans in the COD, maybe we are not here in the COD World League. They are basically the most important for us, for the motivation when we play.
I think that we are not representing only Giants Gaming. We are representing Spain, and that's really a good chance for all of us. I think Spanish people were really happy when we qualified because they really didn't know that a Spanish team can make it into the league, and they were really happy. But we are feeling, I think, a little bit under pressure because they are looking constantly to us. We need to practice with better people to improve our skills, our rotations, and that stuff in the game that we couldn't get better in Spain.
To be honest, that league is very, very, very hard. You got such amazing teams like Millennium, Infused, Vitality, a lot. But saying that we have no chance would be a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CWL Challenge Division 5K. I know, it's been a long time, you've probably missed us, but to no fear, we have returned. My name is Bryce. Joining me here, the Ginger one, better known as Phil with 7.
I am Ginger, I am Phil with 7, and I am the better one. Thank you very much, Bryce.
Not sure that's what I said.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, that's actually a common trait with you.
Yeah, it is. However, we've seen one game, we're going into our game 2, and we have let the bracket basically catch up. We've tried to get a game where possible, and we've actually come to one where you will be familiar with one of the teams. It's, of course, Infused. They are coming up against an amateur team, and it is going to be a bit of a different game. It's actually Synthetic Esports. I keep wanting to say synthetic.
Synthetic?
But
Synetic?
it's just Synthetic Esports.
Synetic?
But Infused are not the normal Infused, Bricey.
No.
They have a Wild Whalers.
They do have a Wild Whalers. Now, let's be perfectly honest. Let's just go straight for it. Whalers, Urban.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Well, Urban is part of Infused for a reason, and he's still in Infused, and Whalers is a good player, but I'm
bored of you already. Just get off the fence, Phil. Come on.
You asked a silly question.
It's not a silly question.
What do you mean Infused? What do you mean, like, Whalers?
What do you mean,
Urban?
what do I mean? It's very obvious the question I'm asking.
You asked me Whalers or Urban. Like,
Yeah.
what's the question?
Whalers or Urban?
Which one's better at football? You didn't ask a question. You just said Whalers or Urban.
Don't play smart. You know exactly what I'm asking.
I don't know if you guys knew what Bryce
What do you
was
think,
asking.
Whalers or Urban?
At what? Making pottery?
COD, obviously.
What, who's better individually? Who's better with it? I just don't know the question you're asking me.
Phil, stop dipping this question.
I just don't get it.
It's unnecessary. Whalers or Urban?
Who is better at Call of Duty?
Who's better?
Urban Infused, Vitality, 0 and 12. Yeah, Urban.
Okay. There are a lot of ways you could have broken that down which weren't so awkward.
However, Whalers is better at bowling.
Great, fantastic. Well, that's great here. If you ever trying to make a team change, you think, well, what if we end up getting into a bowling tournament halfway through the season? Whalers.
Whalers is a great. I don't actually know.
So not only for me is Urban better.
Yes.
I don't think Whalers is a great talent. I want to make that clear. However, in this team, also think Urban's a better fit.
Yeah, Whalers is going to clash, I think, with the likes maybe of Marky B a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're going to lack a bit of aggression in the team. However, Whalers may go, do you know what, I know what role I'll play for Vitality. I'm going to now change that a little bit, tweak it a little bit, and I'm going to go into Urban's role. I'm going to be that aggressive. He may use a sub. We might see him kind of using those. I'm not sure what the map set is. I think it's a little bit different, obviously, because we've gone further around now. We are further into the cup. But it is the last game of the day. Of course, me and Brycey will be bringing you the whole of the cup throughout the weekend. But it's going to start Breach Hardpoint, Bryce.
Yes, it certainly is. Now, even though I said I prefer Urban to Whalers in this scenario,
yeah,
I still think Infused are a very powerful team. Don't know an awful lot about this squad consisting from Synthetic.
Synthetic. I keep wanting to say synthetic.
Is it Synthetic?
S-Y-N-T-I.
I suppose Synthetic is probably better.
Synthetic. And well, let's have a look at them. Their roster, first of all, consists of DZ, Pear Jar,
Sode, Chop Suey, and Yuma.
I think Yuma is actually Zuma's younger brother. It's Yuma, not Zuma. We'll get into that a little bit later on. He's European brother,
okay.
of course.
To be fair, I think out of the three of them, Wuma is actually the better player.
Yeah, Wuma. He's the younger brother, right?
We're going to keep going younger, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking like Z.
He's the grandfather, actually. He's 84, but amazing.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Like Whalers? Whalers or Zuma?
Whalers or Zuma? Zuma.
So you think Zuma's better at bowling than Whalers?
Don't start.
We are going into Breach Hardpoint. Me and Brycey have had the time just to take in the bracket. For you guys at home, I'd like to bring the bracket up actually and at least let you guys look at it. So if you could bring that up on screen, that would be fantastic. And we'll break it down for you. First of all, Hyper Games have made it through. Spud as well, they're waiting for their opponents. We're going to see Pulse back in it. They are still going. Impact are playing LDLC. I believe LDLC are winning currently. Millennium just waiting for their opponent. I think U4X have actually beaten Downfall, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. Killerfish up against This Is Why I Live. This is what I've come to. And then Exerter's still in the mix. Epsilon's still going. We've got Supremacy down there as well. And then right at the bottom, this is where we are infused, and we'll be coming into this section, either playing Riot. Oh, in fact, who is this? I just want to double check. Ah, that was Riri. I knew I'd seen that team before. We saw them last week.
We did see them last week.
CWL points.
I occasionally like watching this. Obviously, in the CWL, we see pretty much the same teams week in, week out.
We do.
Occasionally see this lovely sort of mix, like someone's just going to start stirring. And going, well, who can we throw about here? Whalers and Infused.
Whalers Infused. Who else would you like to pick out of one team and put in another? Where's a question?
Oh, that's a very good question.
We talked about Kivy already.
We have. Well, we need to pick a team, really.
Mm.
Let's pick a random CWL team. Let's say...
I think Kivy would be good in LDLC. I think he would fit nicely there.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be quite nice to see him in there. If they can't get carbines for whatever reason, then yeah, I'd go with Kivy.
I'd also like to see Jerd picked up, taken away, dropped into Infused.
Really?
Just for a day.
Just for a day? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'd love to see it. Who for?
PT.
PD? No, I'd like to say Jerd and PT play together, actually.
Oh, that'd be, I think, a little too intense for me.
I think that'd be speed. I think it'd be team speed, and I'd like to see that. Can you imagine having Jerd and PD running at you? Like, how on earth?
Jerd, PT, who else would you put in team speed, though?
All right,
Could put Kivy in there.
You know what? This is a great question, actually. Hashtag CWLPS4. While we're waiting, let's build team speed. All right? We want aggressive, fast-tempo players who are just going to shock and awe the other team.
So you've got things like Kivy, Gataga.
Gotta go. It's got to be in team speed.
Gataga could be there as well.
Jerd, PD,
Swanee.
Gataga. No, maybe not Swanee.
Actually, I think Swanee. He's just not put his foot down yet. He's just hovering. He's got the clutch there as well.
For 5 years.
It's been actually longer, but he's ready.
I mean, at the proper competitive.
Yeah. Okay. Who else? Who else have we got that could go in there?
Let's think. Team speed. So, Gataga,
PT,
Jerd, PD,
Kivy is available.
Kivy could be the fourth.
Kivy's,
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it would work unless they just rush around like loons.
I mean, if they're playing like
Hardpoint would be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit crazy.
And it's another 4-man flood coming through the front door.
Guys, none of them have rotated for spawns. What is going on?
No, they just seem to be running together as a pack. Anyway, give us your answers. Hashtag CWLPS4 at COD World League. We are looking forward to hearing from you. However, the Ban and Protect is now underway. And we have HCXD, Overclock, and the Double Tactical. And stock. They have removed stock. Zero has taken it out.
Infused have taken that away from them, and I think that will be quite interesting, because I do know that all these kind of AM teams, they play sometimes without this Ban and Protect. You know, they'll play scrims without it, and they'll just play like random rules as in kind of just use normal classes, but a lot of them will include stock.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way they've got around it. So they don't have to do the draft for the Ban and Protect every single time. Sometimes they'll be like, right, well, let's pretend that stock was banned out this one, or let's keep it in this one, or all these different things. So that they are practicing everything just in case something comes up. Obviously, they don't do crazy things like let's ban out fast hands or something that often. That doesn't really. But more typical bans they will do for stock. I think stock's a great example.
Okay. Well, update and news is Exertus just taking first hard point as well. Going strong and hoping to progress to that championship Sunday. In fact, it looks like all CWL teams have been winning their matches. We've not had any upsets just yet. Got some people saying if we can include North America, we'd put Scump in there.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. In fact, let's just take the North American and put take Scump. Gataga, Jerd, PD, Scump.
Scumpy.
Team Slay all day.
Okay.
Right. Well, Ban and Protect is done. The draft is also done.
We could have Team Speed versus Team Static, which would be Swanee and the likes.
What do you see, Momo? In the draft, what do you see?
I see High Caliber's been banned.
No, that's the Ban and Protect. What do you see in the draft?
Tempest has been picked.
No.
Kinetic armor. Oh.
All right, now you're trolling because you've seen it. Just.
Oh, Whalers with a war machine.
I'm sorry, how did you say Whalers again?
Whalers.
Whalers.
Oh, Whalers. Whalers, I feel like, is a name that I think like a lot of football hooligans could chant.
Whalers. Whalers.
I don't know why.
We love you, Whalers. We do. Yeah,
War
I can see
machine.
that.
War
That's when I have to
machine.
put a bit of Essex in my voice to get that football hooligan thing down.
You're a football hooligan at
I'm not
heart.
a football hooligan
You
at
are.
heart.
I've seen you walking around Cologne with those.
What? With those what?
With
Come
those
on.
football scarves and chanting all kinds of things.
I'm fairly certain if I was just walking around Cologne randomly chanting football songs with a football scarf, I wouldn't be so much a football hooligan as something slightly wrong in the head.
You said it, not me. Who do you support, Brycey? Bit of Leeds.
I do support Leeds. See, you know that. You know me. Hashtag Bromo. We haven't said that in a while, actually.
Bit of Bromo. Or a bit of mice. I prefer Bromo.
Bromo. All right, breach Hardpoint. And here's an interesting thing about this way. I can also see Zero stream.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. And funny enough, Bance is actually in his stream at the moment, talking to him.
Bance, eh? Who do you reckon's better, Bance or Zero?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I put this up the other day. Right now, current form, Bance.
I think Bance is better.
Current form. Current form.
So you're making a team, and
I would have made the argument for Zero a month ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago.
So you've seen Zero's slacking off a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think just Bance is on a big run of form, and that's probably down to his team. I think
Yeah.
Zero is actually a great talent.
Zero's a great
superb.
individual player, but I think Bance is a fantastic player as well. I think I'd agree with you. I'd say Bance.
I said current form right now, yeah. I think for me, to be honest with you, I actually thought in Season 1, I generally thought Bance maybe had too much hype about him. He was just a heavy slayer. And he's continued on that, but his teammates have really stepped up to meet him.
He's got new teammates.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for him. However, let's see how this kicks off. We've got Infuse kicking off straight away, actually, with PD getting the first 5 points, answered back by 1 from Cintiq. And now we're going to see things battle out. A bit of a bloodbath in the middle as it is exchanged.
Marky just holds on here, ready to actually flood in with his teammates. Doesn't go in quite a way, but DZ holding this off. He's going to go down again. This is Vesper point. It just seems to be one of those ones where you will see Vespers come out just for this hard point, pretty much for nothing else.
Okay, well, PT and Zero duoing up with the SMG. I did spot Whalers with the SMG as well, so is he kind of taking on that role that Urban does? Do you think he's kind of just said, you know what, I will be Urban for a day?
Well, let's find out. I mean, to be honest with you, I think Urban probably has better movement than Whalers. I think I just quite like Whalers slaying, and realistically, you know, Infuse could do with a Slayer. There's no reason they can't have a Slayer in here.
Oh, bit of a shaky shot there from Whalers. He does get taken down. The rotation will be in favour of Cintiq. I think Infuse is just trying to use brute force to bash this one down. Marky B caught on the flank.
Well, this will be interesting. PD actually trying to go for the pinch. Picks off 1. Now, that's a great pick from PD because it's going to allow Infuse to come around the back. However, they actually end up losing the kills, but PD breaks in by himself. PD don't care.
Solo mission for PT there as he picks up his 5th kill. Will pick up his 6th as 1 slides in. Good night to DZ as he turns out to the M8, and now he can really use this for his long-range battles. There goes another as Choppy does fall.
Oh, PD doesn't care right now. Look at this again. No specialist up, so PD is perfectly fine. And I think they're actually going to get the last 20 seconds, as that rotation's coming in early.
Yeah, I thought someone was going to challenge him then for some strange, bizarre reason, but he's not. He's turned around to pick up Marky. We're going to see a long-range gunfight from Whalers there.
Too bad. Now, he's actually splitting here, ready for this rotation, and spawning them out flowers. So, Infused are in the lead, but we have seen Palace be difficult to breach for several teams.
Pieces close to Streaks. I think he's in the middle. I think. Oh, and he's just seen one at middle. He's gonna fall, and he's not gonna get them. Pair actually picking that one up, and Marky with the triple himself. He picks up his 8th kill of the game, and now Infused starting to breach a bit of a lead here. 50 points, in fact.
Well, they certainly are, Momo, and to be fair, that was an almost clinical take from the guys on Infused. They had 20 seconds to kind of set up for it, but bearing in mind they were going in 3v4, the fact they broke it in the first 5 seconds was just incredible.
Well, Choppy, he's trying to hold things down, will hold it down as he gets a nice double kill. 20 seconds left. Does Infuse rotate or do they push once more? It looks like they're going for it. They're not giving up this easy.
Looks like Zero's actually going to be the one going for it. He's trying to make those kills, and he does. He's going to take the scrap time away from them.
He used his heat wave there.
And this means they have a great setup now for this one. And also, just keep an eye on Whalers for that War Machine. This would be a great hill for him to use it on, I think. But it looks like he's not going to get it here. But PD's going to bust the kinetic. Picks off one, picks off two, sees a third, picks that up as well. PD, perfectly okay.
He probably could have done that without kinetic, actually seeing the damage he did take there. But he's going to put Cintiq back a step or two as he's just waiting to try and get these streaks. This will be for a second time. Oh, body falls down. That heat wave is useless. Zero and PT dominating.
They seem really comfortable right now, Momo. I was hoping for maybe a little bit more of a contest coming in from these two teams, but when you've got PD just quite happily sitting in the hill doing whatever he wants, Zero's actually going to come in and challenge now, looking for a desperately that call come out, but he doesn't know where he went. Whalers comes in as well, and Whalers picks up two.
Yeah, Whalers, and I will say for me, Whalers is by far Vitality's best player individually. Yeah. Of course, we've not seen really what Twiz has been able to do for his ineligibility of the team, but with 10 seconds left, Whalers is on a 5 streak and will be rotating shortly, but Zero in the mix. Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Disgusting.
That is disgusting. Zero. No, Whalers is on a 5 streak as well. Make that a 6. First streak's coming in for him. More streaks coming in for him.
He's just wanting his War Machine. He's wanting his Cerberus. And you know what? Kivy, a player we've said we'd love to see on a UK team. Whalers is another one for me. Because I really think he could excel.
Oh, he's doing that just now at the moment. It's going to be a little bit unhappy he didn't get that. Chubby's actually bust out the Tempest here to try and hold and get some time back on this one. Do actually like that play. I think if you're going to need to, if you make these points back and really start to come back into this game, it's exactly what you want this Tempest for. Already picks up one, but the next player from Infuse just shoot the same place over and over again, waiting for it. Not able to get it that time, though. DZ picking up a lot of hill time while he sits in here.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't think Infuse are going to challenge this again.
15 seconds. I don't think it'd be wise to put too much into it, but then Zero, even though he's damaged, still does chase it. Kills 2. Yuma's going to answer back and get the scrap points, and now we're going to the middle with an 80-point lead here. Infused looking very, very strong.
They certainly do, and this is child's play for Marky right now. He actually switches sides in preparation. And he's ready for it. Look at this call from Marky. Sees one, takes him down. Oh, he's ready for it. Marky is calling everything from the perfectly. In fact, if his teammates weren't making so many kills, he would have quite a few Tempest kills here. Sees the Shadow. Sees the other one come out. Not able to get it. Does get it in the end, though. Perfectly happy. Will eventually be traded away. And this is the difference when you're a top-level team like Infused are.
Yep, Hellstorm Lightning coming in. Whalers utilising them. He's about to breach 20 kills now, and a camo was used just then, I believe.
Well, there we go. We can see Whalers trying to go in and actually do it, but we're going to see Yuma now trying to hold this one down, but Marky is going off as well. He's actually got the lowest interactions in his team, but I think that's down to the aggressiveness of the way Infused are playing, just pushing them out for Marky. Marky's not really had an opportunity to engage as much as the rest of them.
We're going to see Zero, 26 and 18, a minute on the hill already. Still doing work for his team as PT gets a shot to the head.
Was that just Twitch, or did you do it on purpose?
I'm not too sure.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out from Zero at some point. However, now we can see incoming pinch. Oh, goodness. Too many trophies in there. He's got one. Tries to find the angle on that one. Doesn't really get an awful lot from it, though.
That's the thing with the War Machine. It looks all good. It looks perfect. You know, firing big grenades into a small, confined space. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem to happen on this game. It's not like the War Machine of, you know, say Black Ops 2 or...
Yeah. Well, that War Machine not only fired further, but had a bigger explosive range. But this one actually tends to split into 3 projectiles to begin with. Just a little bit harder to kind of use, in my opinion. However, we can see a big fight coming in here. DZ does stay alive. It's going to be Choppy that comes through to take that one. And you know what? They've got a decent amount of points there, Momo, for the Cinetic team. However, right now, Infused and Whalers, more specifically, will actually have this rotation. And it's going to be a hard break from Cinetic. Now, can they do this against one of the elite level teams in Europe? That's the real question. As we slowly but surely see Infused tick into that lethal range we talk about, of where it's very, very easy just to end the game.
Okay, well, we're going to see firsthand here how things go down, but Kinetic Armor is being used by PT, and I will say he's used these specialists very, very wisely, but that one he only picks up 1 kill with, but it's an important one. 30 seconds left. They're wanting to end it right here, right now, and they can do, Bryce. They don't need to go to Flowers. They can end it in Palace.
PD pre-firing. He's actually seen more come down. He is going to go down as well. Zero's outside. Actually, they're just pushing the lanes out. And Marky picks up another 2. Marky's on a 4 streak now. And they've got to come through Marky in the middle. And he's going to see another one. Surely a reload cancel coming in. No, actually switches to the L card. No, he pick that one up and it's over. 250 to 142. I will say, Synetic, I think actually did a really good job there of coming back.
Yeah, they actually put some numbers on the board. And, we've seen Infuse, put CWL teams in the 100-point club. So you got to respect the boys of Synetic and say, they did pretty well considering. 23 and 24 for Choppy. Minute on the hill, not too bad, not too bad. Well, Infuse do take it, are joined by a Wild Whalers who's 30 and 20, bear in mind. Not too bad at all, Bryce.
No, not too bad, actually. I think, for me, Synetic, again, I've spoken about this before, right? But there is this thing about elite-level teams.
Yes, yeah.
You have to understand that there are players that are elite level, there are teams that are elite level. Infuse fall into that bracket, right? They do. In my opinion, there are 3 right now until we move on to the next big event and we can kind of start sorting them again. Splice, Millennium, Infused, elite level. And being elite level means that although they may occasionally, very, very rarely get beat by someone lower down than CWL, anyone outside of that is just a mismatch. Doesn't matter if the tactics are off, doesn't matter if it's a pickup, doesn't matter if you're doing something unconscionable. They're just better in every aspect. You should never beat an elite level team.
And the big games went to elite levels come head to head. They're the real kind of crunches. At the moment, Millennium, you might be asking, are they still an elite level team? Me and Bryce Lee firmly believe,
Yes.
on LAN, yes. Online at the moment, having their struggles, but we do believe that they've got the talent, the individual skill to definitely contest with the likes of Infuse and Splice, for example. But Map 1 is done. Hardpoint is over. We'll be heading over to Search and Destroy in just a short while. But that Hardpoint pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
And this game could be one-sided. We wanted to bring you, first of all, 2 amateur teams. Then we wanted to bring you a pro versus an amateur team. Show you the difference. Show you, really, how much the skill gap is.
It's like that story I told earlier, and I didn't really get a chance to finish because we launched into the game. Talking about when we played that almost that public team, we thought they were really good and against competitive. Now, back then, I'm not very good. I wasn't very good, and our team wasn't very good. But there are levels, right? There's public level, there's competitive level. There's like you're pretty much semi-professionals, you're professionals, and then you're elites. And there is this disparity all the way through that, where it's just so one-sided. I said to someone the other day, I went, what I'd like to see, maybe a pro team or 2 pro teams at an event, and we just have members of the public, people who don't play competitive at all, come up and play them, and just experience what on earth it's like.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I thought, you'd think they'd be cheating if you didn't know them. I was sitting there next to like scrim jumping into a pro scrim, and I'm like, if I didn't know these guys, I'd think they were somehow just new.
Questioning.
Yeah. You'd be sitting there going, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, how are they reacting that fast? How does he, do all this sort of stuff? Their movement, everything. Like, it's just playing in a whole different new world.
Well, I mean, that's what being a professional is. You know, being that one step ahead, being that elite level player, if you like. And it's something that me and Bryce kind of put tags on, and we try and kind of separate and really put barriers between. And I think you guys at home will be able to see it. When you look at the standings of, say, the CWL, you'll see that kind of top margin, that middle, and then the ones that just aren't good in it at the moment, the Vitalities, the LDLCs. But you put Vitality and LDLC against any other team in Europe, bar the ones above them, and they are kind of sweeping them to the side, and it shows you how hard it is not only to get into the CWL Pro League, but actually to compete in it and do well in it. And that's why you've got to really respect the players at the top of it.
But I mean, I think another great thing we've seen here, and the CWL, I think, really has started to elevate the top level even more. And nowhere is that more kind of obvious than NA versus EU.
Okay.
And I spoke to the pros and said, yeah, he goes, funny enough, having these games that just mean more on a regular basis, not only does it allow it to kind of adapt our tactics a little bit quicker and we're learning faster, goes, but we are playing better. He goes, we've noticed that we are playing better than we used to. And the gap's actually shrunk a little bit between NA and EU. And I still, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I think EU's level with NA.
It's not. Simply isn't.
Yeah, it simply isn't right now. But the gap is not as big as it used to be. It just isn't.
And I think the gap, when first of all the Americans started coming over, the first real kind of...
MW3?
Yeah, MW3. And there was only one team. It was either Optic or Apex NA at the time. And they came over, they just literally kind of pushed everyone to the side, bar one event. And...
Well, me and you were both back around at that point.
Yeah.
Do you remember just the feelings going through those events? You're sitting there, and nobody could believe it. Everyone just sat there and went, This isn't even real. This isn't even the same sort of level.
I played against Optic on MW3, and it was the quickest 3-0 sweep I've ever experienced. And it was one where I sat there and went, I don't mind losing that. It's not too bad. I think I did quite well there, going 12 and 24.
That was a lot of people said that. Like, I mean, Madcat. I remember Madcat on main stage sitting there laughing to himself, and he goes, usually I'd be mad that I was losing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, normally you're very angry at this point. He goes, no, just I find it hilarious. He goes, I can't even do anything.
Yeah. And it's funny how now those players are wanting to basically go into games, and like some Madcat, they'll go against any single player or team in the world, and they'll be unhappy with the loss. And I think that's the way it should be. But don't get us wrong, me and Brycey, we are aware of the fact that America is those couple of steps ahead currently in Call of Duty and console. So it's definitely something that Europeans need to work on.
Interesting, Yuma protecting stock straight away there.
Yeah.
Said, I'm going to keep it in for this one. We've got the SVG banned out. That's pretty much going to be against Zero. I wonder if we're going to see Zero sniping. Flashbang and Concussion taken away as well. Overclock, HCXD, High Caliber, and Rapid Fire. Again, very common from here. The one thing we are missing, and I think they really need to pay attention to, Momo, is Overkill.
Overkill is still in, and it's going to be a bit of a killer. And the ban comes in for SVG, but for me, Locust, PO6, there's other things you can use, and Zero will be sat there rubbing his fingers together going, oh, this is my map. I've got my SMG, I've got my assault rifle, I can use a sniper, I can do what I want. Wouldn't put it past Whalers as well, you know, I'm sure he's a big fan of the sniper. We've seen him pull it out a couple of times, but who's that sniper going to be for the boys on Syndic?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I just don't know.
No, we don't. This is the first time we're seeing them, and hopefully not the last, because they've made it this far. They're coming up against a top-tier pro team.
I think it allows us to be more honest, though, because we can sit there and go, well, we don't know why he made that play, and it might be we might just see it as a bad play.
Yeah, and one thing that I have previously got very frustrated at as a spectator, or even as a player, and I'll happily admit this, I used to sit there and play, and I used to get so frustrated when, and this is not just COD, this is not just esports, it's sports in general, when a caster or a commentator or whatever you want to call them criticizes a professional player's move. It used to really, really frustrate me, and I'd sit there and think, why is this person saying like I should have done that? And now I come to this side. Probably about 2 years ago, I came to the reality.
You see how stupid you were.
I could see, first of all, how wrong I was, which I'll agree with. But it's looking at it from our perspective, because I've now sat here for the past 6 months, and I've watched probably more Call of Duty than... I mean, I'm trying to think of one person who's watched more. There might be a really good CWL fan out there who's watched every single game. But no, Bryce, not you.
Well, I've watched way more Call of Duty than everybody.
This game, Black Ops 3, I feel now, because I've watched all these pro teams play, and I'll get to my point eventually, I feel like when I see a play done wrong, I know what it should have been. It's not that I could do it, but you guys at home, you might be thinking, why are these telling us how to do it? Because we've seen so much, every single kind of situation and how it should play out. We do know how it goes down.
Well, no, I think that's the greatest thing here is that I even said to you the other day, a lot of the pro player insight at the very top level is playing this day and day again. And even you will know that you start to lose tiny little insights because you don't do it day in, day out. And I think, you know, I know exactly what I should be doing. And obviously it doesn't always translate when I play. But the theoretically and the way he drives down, I mean, you speak to any pro who's had a go at casting and you say, wow, that's actually a lot harder than I thought it was. And to be fair, I'll be perfectly honest with you. For a long time in my career, I didn't criticize people the way I should have done. I pandered to people a little bit too much. And you know what? In the last year and a half, I went, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to call somebody out. I'm going to start being honest with people and start saying, you know what? That's bad. That's stupid. I don't agree with it. And to be fair, you know, the pros have actually reacted really well to it. I think they've matured a lot and said, you know what? It's fine. You do that. Some people still get upset. And get a little bit childish if you insult somebody, say, oh, you can't say he's bad. That's disrespectful. No, tough. That's the entire job here. I like being honest with people.
I mean, yeah.
And I don't like sitting there going, both teams are going to win. They're both great. I want to go, well, this should be a smashing on one side for this reason. That way, if the underdog wins, in my opinion, it's actually a much bigger deal. You're selling that other team short.
Well, this is what we're saying. Me and Bryce in here, we're saying it should be a 3-0 to Infuse. They should pretty much destroy the opposing team. And in Hardpoint, I will say Cintiq did better than I thought. And actually, S&D is a must-win for Cintiq. If they want to go any further in this tournament, they must win it, because Uplink, it's only going one way for me.
Yeah, I think so. It's Infused, right? They can lose all of the kills and still win the game. That's pretty much their specialty. Or they can do what they ended up doing to Millennium the other day, which is just almost criminal. However, we are in Search and Destroy, and it is advantage Infused now, as they have the numerical advantage. And they're just trying to make a push into B here, Cintiq.
Well, they're going to make that push. They're going to make the kills. And then Pear just thought, why is all my team just falling around me? Good start for Infused as they pick up number 1. And you can see here, Zero didn't actually see anyone there, but when he popped his head around this corner...
Oh, hello.
He saw the back of 1. Taking him down, that was the final kill cam for you, and it is round number 1.
Yeah, the other issue being is that Whalers is very, very good on Vitality in these sort of games. And for me, Infused, one of the top tier in terms of S&D as well. So it's going to be difficult for this Synetic team to kind of do it.
Okay, well, let's have a look at this Cintiq team. And actually, I'm watching these on the defense just for a second. I want to see what Cintiq was doing. And it looks like they're just stacking here on A. But let's go back on board with the attacking team now. PT does fall to DZ. That's a nice kill and a good trade, 3v3.
Well, they've got Marky pushing forward. Marky's pre-aiming. Zero's already picked up on that Locust. And I can confirm that he's actually running overkill as well.
Yeah.
Trophy goes down. And it's now going to be Choppy in a 1 versus 3. He sees the respawn screen.
Choppy there got caught with his back turned. One thing I always laugh, actually, because there's no auto-aim on like a trophy system, players struggle to hit it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to that auto-aim of kind of clicking back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, the snap.
But yeah, you don't get that anymore. And 0-2 is the scoreline. Infused, starting strong.
They certainly are. Well, we can go back on board with Cintiq. Now, again, like I said here, a lot of the times when you're playing a CWL team, it's not easy to perform. And these guys are trying to get to this level. Now, there are two schools of thoughts on this matter. One is that if you're trying to take them on, then, you know, criticism is fair game, because that's what you're doing. You're putting yourself in that position. You're saying, yep, we're good enough to try and win this. We're going to try and compete. We're going to try and get better. And if you play against a team like this, then you're probably going to lose, and you have to be criticised, because otherwise you'll never get better.
No, I mean, that's the thing, and the best thing I always kind of go back to is pro players, the one way which they've found learning is actually watching their own gameplay back. Now, we get to do that every single day live, and we watch their gameplay. A lot of pro players, and one thing I used to hate as a pro player was losing a game and my team going, should we watch that back? That's the last thing I wanted to do. But it was probably more important than jumping into another scrim and making the same mistakes. Yeah. Go watch it back, see what you did wrong, learn from it. Like anything in life.
Well, you only got to find out. I mean, some of these pro players speak to casters about what they think they're doing wrong. And for me, that speaks volumes, you know. I've had discussion with players, and we've spoke about their team comp and what do they think we're doing wrong, because we're also an outside perspective.
100%.
I don't really care what you think about your teammate. I see it all objectively. And I said, I had a big argument with someone about that. I said, I never have to worry about playing with you. So I can say whatever I feel like.
Okay, well, it looks like one player has disconnected. Marky's running wild with his dart. And he's going to find one but not get the kill.
However,
it is a 3v3, though.
Now, do they do the old tactic of relying on Zero for this next pick? Marky may actually have somebody there. And he has, and Marky chooses not to go for that reaction shot. And he's in 2 as well. He's going to call them both out. And I'm surprised Whalers is now going to go deal with it. Marky wins that second kill as well. Now, Marky's on full streaks.
He's 8-0, by the way, just to confirm. 4-0 in the S&D as Zero picks him out of the sky. Like it's nobody's business. You're going to see it on your kill cam.
Oh, doesn't even have the thermal on because cold-blooded. Doesn't matter. Zero sees that blue on blue.
It's one thing I always struggle with is sniping with a thermal against cold-blooded. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But we will continue. It is 4 versus 3. I mean, it doesn't really help Cintiq a lot. However, they've got to go. They've got to carry on. And we'll try and get him back in the game.
Let's be perfectly honest here. It wasn't like they were really putting up that much of a fight. To be fair, you never know. We've seen bigger comebacks, Momo. Anything could happen. This is Call of Duty, and that's why we love it. Okay.
Gonna pick up one. He'll be able to call out the bunker. In fact, he doesn't need to call it out. He's already here. He's seen the shadow, and Mark, he said, you know what? I'm picking my lightning. I'm going to not only... Oh! I'm not only going to use my lightning, I'm going to pick up a second kill with it. And this should be all she wrote, says DZ. He's just going to back off, and I think he may be just delaying the inevitable here, Bryce.
This is going to be the start of the greatest 1v4 you've ever seen.
It's not.
Here he goes. Turns around, sees that sniper, takes him out. Takes out the second one as well.
Uh-oh.
I was joking, but now it's real. 1 versus 2, 32 seconds left. The problem being is that bomb is a long way away. And I don't mean that in the fact that he has to just go get it, but I think the time may actually go and kill him.
Okay.
Time he gets it, time he gets to a bomb site.
He needs to make both kills. There's no planting or defusing any bombs happening in this round. He needs to go to bunker, pick up a two-piece, be that kind of magician.
Oh, he's ruined my best 1v4 ever. Because even if he makes this next kill, right, there's no way that second player is going to engage.
Yeah, and there we go. 5-0 is the score. And Infuse really stepping it up here, just putting it to bed.
That could have been it. That could have been real.
Yeah.
That could have been the world's greatest 1v4. Didn't happen, unfortunately. I was hoping for it.
No, didn't happen. Did take down 2, and it was actually doubling the kills of the team in that very short space of time, which is crazy to even think. But so far, so good for Infused in the $5,000 tournament. And in fact, let's just see what they're doing here. And they were actually all rocking into Mansion. They might actually push that out. What's Zero doing?
Well, Zero is sniping because he's Zero. You know what? If he hits something like that, it's going to be upsetting. However, 3 versus 3 now. Yuma makes that kill. Petey bouncing along. Hippity hoppity hippity dead.
And DZ is going to take down PD, and now at a numerical advantage. My goodness, Zero has everything to do right now. 1 versus 4.
Oh, here we go. Slaps in a new clip. Picks off the first. 1 versus 2 now for Zero. Has glitch, but only has 37 seconds. That's going to be the problem if he does try to make something of this.
Again, you know, I say it for the opposing team as well. I just don't see it happening. Even though you're Zero, even though you're part of Infuse, you're 6-1. This should not be a winnable round, and I don't think it will be. Choppy and Yuma will be looking to take him down. Oh! Hit marker comes in on the leg of Yuma. And Yuma might be taking a sigh of relief here as he sponged this one.
You can see, just gets in there and almost ends up dying. A little bit higher there. I think he must have hit him in the thigh.
It's a meaty part of the leg, that, Bryce, the thigh.
It is.
And it can, you know, take that damage off that bullet. I think that's why it didn't kill him.
Yeah, bulletproof thighs, that's the real thing.
That's what I've got, you know. I had them installed last July, actually, bulletproof thighs.
That kind of makes sense why you really haven't built any muscle mass there.
Oh my goodness, rips after rips.
Anyway, we're on board with Perja, and he has picked up 1, but he gets heat waved in the face. Not going to be able to make that second one. 2 versus 2, though. Gets traded away, and it is now a 1 versus 2. DC _ Choppy to try and make this one. Now, doesn't have the bomb, doesn't have any information or a useful specialist.
He only has his VMP. And that is all the tools a man needs to take down Infused.
I think he'll use his overdrive, you know, if he makes a kill. However, right now, I think Infused know where that bomb is. And Choppy does not know where any of Infused are.
Oh, we've seen one. He's been tagged and he's going to go down. It's PT there with a final kill cam. And 6-1 is the score, and it's 2-0 now for PT. And you can see, I'm not sure what that was. Oh, he was lining a trophy system. See, the good thing about that, it not only makes you look like a trophy system,
but you feel like a trophy system.
But you are a trophy system.
Cheeky little trophy system. That's the goal, right? That's what everyone wants to be.
I mean, it's like my mum said, you can be whatever you want to be, and I just said,
as long as it's a trophy system.
I want to be a trophy system.
You had a weird upbringing, Momo.
I did. I had 2 older brothers who were very strange.
I've never met one of them. I met one of them.
Have you never met James?
No, I never got to meet James.
He's nothing like any of us, to be fair.
So I'd like him then.
He's probably the only normal one.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, right now, if you are joining us and are wondering what on earth is going on and why we're talking about Momo's brother, you don't need to know about that. What you do need to know, though, is Infused are 2-0 up against Synetic. So far, a little bit one-sided. The Hardpoint, I thought Synetic did actually pretty well to come back on. They started trading a little bit better. The S&D, it was 3-0 up. They had a timeout. They came back. Still wasn't going to be able to win it. And it looked like Infused just took that kind of pressure off. They took the pedal off the gas. They went, we know what we're doing here. We got this. I think Uplink, they're going to go quite far ahead to begin with and then probably slow down.
Let's make some predictions.
16-6.
I'm going to go with 18.
Right.
To 6.
That's just unnecessary, isn't it? You've picked something close to mine.
17 to 6 then.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Remember, guys, if you want to hashtag CWLPS4, let's hear your predictions. Also, at Codwell League. You can tag me and him both in the tweets if you feel like it. I'm at Bryce-tacular. That's at PhilWill7. PhilWill7?
Well, that is Phil, and that is me, a human being. But yeah, Phil was 7. Everything else was taken. I had to do something.
That's why I got Bryce-tacular. I just put tacular on the end.
Is that how long have you had that for now?
Long time.
A very long time. That's all I ever remember you. I don't remember you as anything but that.
But it was like, well, people call you Not really. I just couldn't get Bryce at the time. I didn't want to be Bryce with 1s and 3s and stuff.
Yeah, you just stuck with. I mean, it's all one word. That's one thing I do like. But. Fly was in my face. Oh. It was. I went but, and I saw it from a distance, and it just went so much closer, and I had to stop. Sorry about that. I was nearly bit by a fly, and that's where I turned into a fly.
I'm not sure that's how the movie The Fly works.
Well, no, I was thinking of crossing The Fly and Spider-Man, combining it. The Phil was
Fly-der-Man.
Yeah,
Fly-der-Man. Fly-der-Momo.
Right, stop.
Fly-der-Momo.
Stop. Not Fly-der-Momo.
Fly-der-Momo.
Not happening.
Fly-der-Momo. Hashtag Fly-der-Momo.
We are going into map number 3. It's going to be Uplink, and I'm querying what map it's going to be. It looks... I'm looking at a monitor on its side on an angle of about 170 degrees. It looks like infection.
Yeah.
How I could even see that is remarkable.
Well, I can see it.
Well, that's all that matters, isn't it, Bryce? Don't worry about me.
I don't worry about you, to be fair.
Never? Not even if I was in trouble? In fact, you'd probably be the one causing trouble.
Whoa! Look, right, this banter goes on the casting desk, and I'm afraid that people at home genuinely think I'm a nasty person.
You're not a nasty person.
I know. Out of all of the casters, right, if you asked all of the casters together, they would say I'm the nicest one.
Go do that, please. Go and ask. Just at all the casters on Twitter, is Bryce nice? Simple as that.
Yeah. Hashtag nice Bryce. It's a real thing.
See what answer you do get. Uplink infection, no Bryce. We've said 16 and 6, 17 and 6.
I have got people in.
Okay.
Do you know what they're saying?
What?
We have HJP JT23. I know, catchy, right? He says, and it's actually, I get why it's called. It's Harry Joseph Tierney. Oh, Tierney, yeah. Says infused 28 to 4. So heavily onto infused.
It's 28. Wow.
We've got Tom Howard, 1990. He says 26 to 2 to infused. There is a theme developing, but that theme is shattered by the next one. NXG_Cuban says 20 to 5 to Synetic or Syntic. It says Marky B's going to choke the entire map and start scoring own goals. Hashtag Scottish talent.
I mean, that seems very targeted to Marky, that.
Wow. Well, the way he said Marky B.
What's Marky ever done to you? Probably nothing. Marky's a nice chap. However, he could choke. He could go down. He might return to his top 32 Enigma team, which is about 8 years old. A lot of people getting involved with the team speed. We had, a while ago, obviously, we asked a question. We had Kivy coming in. We had Vance, Jers, Dave, and PT.
Jared Ross, brilliant tweet.
Oh, opposite of team speed is Marky and Marky. Let's go. So team speed versus team static.
Marky, Swanee.
Methods from Giants.
Right.
On CTF, he's just turret.
Who else? Splice. probably actually.
Splice, I don't think anyone has it.
I mean, no, because they're a little bit more hybrid of a team.
I'm thinking someone who's...
Epsilon?
Epsilon may give it scraps on CTF,
No,
but I think that's just his role on CTF.
He's too aggressive still.
On Hardpoint, thinks he's too... Yeah,
I mean, by aggressive, I mean moves out of spawn.
Yeah. Who are we thinking? LDLC? No one really. Broken?
Wait, I mean... no,
Broken's changed it,
Broken's running an SMG now.
Team Static looking for one. Apply here. Get on social media. Hashtag CWLPS4. At Swanee. At Marky. At Methods. You could be number 4. Not sure if that I can't guarantee they are wanting to leave all their teams, but it's worth a shot. I mean, I think Team Static, it could be a...
I would like to see a Team Static versus Team Speed matchup.
Yeah, I think Speed would win.
Yeah, Speed always wins. We've got a few more tweets coming in. Thank you so much for you guys kind of putting them in here. We've got one that said, people are actually asking if I'm the nicest codcaster, so thanks for that. They're all going to say yes anyway. We have Ivan Drago, 99X, that's from Stuart McCants. He says 19-5 for Infused.
It's all going Infused way, isn't it?
Yes. Very much so. It's all Infused all the time.
We have got some updates. LDLC took down Impact Reloaded. They're through already. Killerfish took down This Is What I've Come To. And they're the only 2 teams into the round of 16. Of course, we'll be catching up with them later. But, yeah, we've still got Supremacy to play. We've got Fab Games as well. That'd be a good game. Infused, obviously, still at the bottom. And we'll update this at the end of the next game. But all the players are in. They are all ready to rock and roll. Infection Uplink. Brycey, tell me the class that you're rocking right now.
Infection Uplink. I'm on a VMP.
There it is. There's your VMP. What do you want? Do you want a stun? I got a stun here. Or a flashbang? Sorry, the ban, you're not allowed in.
I don't know.
VMP.
Yeah. That's all I need.
I think that's your first mistake.
I don't take anything else.
I
No
think
perks, no attachments, no secondary.
As an analyst, you've made a mistake.
Why have I made a mistake?
First of all, you've not utilised the 10 things that you can have. Secondly, you've chosen a VMP, which I know from watching your gameplay, you're not very good with a VMP.
I am fantastic with the VMP.
I would have gone for a dingo for you.
Wow. You've never even seen me with a dingo, so don't pretend like you've seen the dingo, Dave.
I've seen you use the dingo.
It's a fantastic weapon.
And I think I'll put extended mag on there for you because I know you're a bit shaky sometimes with...
Oh, right, okay.
For me, I would go... what would you give me? Go on. I'll give you a chance to hit back.
If I go into my notes from back when you were playing...
Okay.
And look at the Momo section, and under strengths, it has able to get his team funding.
Okay.
And then it ends.
Because I'm a very marketable person, I understand that.
Yeah, and that was the only reason you ever got into any good teams.
Well, it's... Oh, wow. Ow.
Basically, players were like, we need funding to get to an event, so let's pick him up and he'll help us get funding. And then we'll try and do our best.
It hurts. Stop. Bryce,
and
please.
I want to throw that under friendly banner. Genuinely was on my notes back in the day.
I know. I know this. I do know this. And
it's okay. It's okay, Phil.
I know. Your notes are still as rubbish now, so it's fine.
Well, they're not. They seem fairly accurate, to be honest. Anyway, enough bashing by my side.
Just gonna retreat.
I love
the white flag. The white flag's been waved.
We can see Yuma protecting that stock once again. We have the double tactical coming in. That's from Infused. Overclock coming in from the Guzzenston Tick. And Overdrive been taken away. So we should see active camo taken out, but it's not. HCXD is taken out instead, so Rapid Fire High Caliber will be next.
There we go. Pretty standard stuff. Stop being protected. Again, it's the only real change to it, of course, with Overdrive being banned. Active camo slips the net.
Yeah.
That's the one which you really want to watch out for.
Yeah. The one of the most powerful specialists you can take on Uplink. Because you get in the right position, you pop it, and you gone. You get that 2-point play.
I love a good 2-point play. Some call me 2-point Phil. That's what they call me in the Uplink servers.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're definitely 2 points. You set yourself up for that one.
I feel betrayed.
Speaking of betrayal, we were speaking earlier about attending your brother's housewarming party.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to attend. He decided not to invite all the casters.
He didn't invite you. He invited me and I turned him down because I said I don't like you or the other half. I said I'm only coming if Bryce comes.
Yeah, and we are. We're all going to go to...
I actually said I want a +1. He said that's fine, but I don't know who you're going to bring. He was worried, and I said, I'm bringing Bryce. And he said, uh-oh.
I'm coming. I am coming. I am attending. Anyway, the draft has gone down, and we can see active Kinetic, Heatwave, and Tempest for both sides. That is what is known as a mirror matchup. A few more tweets actually coming in, Phil. We have Alex Haddon 4 says Infuse 16 to 10. We've got Flipped. Now, he actually asked a question as well, which we'll cover in just a few seconds, but he says 9-6 Cintiq. A bit ambitious, but he says, if Scump was European, what roster would you want to see him on?
And who would you replace? Oh, wow. Okay, let's say. He would replace current form.
I have an answer for this.
See, current form.
I'd like to stir things up. You ready?
Go on.
Tommy.
Well, okay. Jared, Mad Cat, Scott, and Swanee.
Think about the aggressiveness combined with the ability to be passive and hold things.
Jared, Scum, Mad Cat, Swanee.
Yeah.
Yeah. But imagine him going on and replacing, say, Joe.
Yeah, but Joe's nice.
Joe is nice.
Joe fits with that team.
But Joe literally is like, Scump is like an Evolvey. It's like Pokemon.
Yes.
And he turns into Scump.
Yes. There needs to be another. There needs to be like a. I think Scump's the ultimate form, so there needs to be like one below Joe.
One below Joe. That's Momo.
Momo, Joe to Scump.
Yeah. That's how it goes. But it is a very good question, Flipped. I appreciate that.
Oh, we have another one coming in. It is from Riaz. Riaz B4. It's 100-0 for Infused. I like your enthusiasm.
I like this one.
Go on.
Sammy said, Bryce's personality matches his hair. Hashtag very nice.
I feel like that's an insult.
That's not an insult.
I feel like it's sarcasm. I'm okay with it.
That's a compliment. Your hair's very
Look, I'm okay with my hair. It's just the rest of the world doesn't seem to appreciate it.
I like it. I think it suits you. Just would be better if it was ginger. Be strange, that'll be sure.
I tell you what, I'll put a tweet out and get 100k retweets or dye my hair ginger.
100,000 retweets.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Crim's tattoo to get 100k. Or
I think that was a million.
Was it?
Yeah. However, incoming drone control from both sides, and it's actually Cintiq who's going to get that first one now. It looks like we're going for a manual pass into Graveyard. Probably a little bit ambitious because now the smoke has to come out. They've gone for the smoke, they're going for the one, and they miss.
Oh, that's a painful one. The smoke was good, the throw was not so good. And now Marky B and the boys can push back. Whalers picked up a kill, and DC's going to answer back with a nice trade here. But looks like they're going for the 1-point play down rocks. Marky, what he might do is go top rock and then come all the way back. It does lure them out. So he lures them, he slips and slides, he brings them all the way to this side of the map. And then he comes straight back and pushes on the attack.
You know when I said they may have taken the foot off the pedal here?
Yep.
Zero's running over Kill Sniper.
0-0. That's why he's 1-on-1. He's actually got a Pharaoh.
He does.
He's got a very jazzy costume. I'll sell you that for nothing. Whalers has the M8 and he's going to find one. That's going to get away from him and actually needs to be picked up by someone else. And
it misses.
I don't think Zero will be too cocky if they start to lose this game, but he's picked up the drone. He's still rocking the SVG Pharaoh combo.
And right now, he's looking for this player. DC Choppy. Choppy's actually should have the advantage there, but doesn't. Zero still alive. Zero now holding this down, and he actually goes for a massive challenge mid-map in the air with the sniper. Because, you know, just casual-like.
It's just how Zero is sometimes. I think that's it. It shows that Zero knows that he's capable of doing things, because he wouldn't do this against any other CWL team. PT's actually picked up the SVG as well.
No, he's not. He's not picked it up, mate. He's actually running overkill VMP with it.
He's picked it up from the armory, and he's rocking it with a smoke as well.
If he had picked it up, it'd be forgivable. But they just went, nah, we're going to run overkill and everything.
Well, for me, they're being shut down here, and I think they need to swap things up. One person who will be keeping it vanilla will be Marky B. He's not one to showboat or
They're remarkably good with this at the moment, though. If they weren't as skilled as they were, let's be perfectly honest, it probably would be the other way around. Speaking of which, he was actually 9-4. And they actually should be, what, 2-1 up at this point.
Yeah, they should be, but they're not. They missed both their 1-point plays. Whalers has just got one, and PT's going to be shut down again, and that's another kill which normally would go in favour of Infuse. Whalers and Marky, though, they're keeping it straight. They're going with this M8.
Well, right now, they're trying to lock this one down, not quite able to. Zero will have control. And he has Whalers in front of him. Whalers... Oh, as if Whalers survived that because of the armor.
Literally, Zero was the worst, most selfish teammate I've ever seen. And I bet he was laughing as he threw that.
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Now, Marky B is in a position. There should be a 2 here unless this kill gets made. So he's now going to go for the 1.
I like that 1-point play, by the way.
Yeah. Really easy. Do you know, the problem being is that I think against a lot of teams, that may have been intercepted. If you think about it, he kind of just went for it. I think he knew that they weren't going to intercept it here.
Well, it is 2-0. It's a low-scoring game for me.
They've got active camo, so this is very much a 2-point play. I would like to have seen the armor reset if they were going to do that, and then maybe delayed it and go the other way, because even active camo being that powerful, it's the armor that really helps.
Yeah. The armor kind of doubles up, if you like. PT showing why he doesn't use the sniper in S&D.
Doesn't matter, gets a kill with the satellite anyway. And this drone is away. It's going to be DZ who's going to try and hold this one down, and he gets heatwaved. And
Kinetic, he didn't pick up the kill. Now he does, and he's going to be traded. Marky picks him up, and he's also traded. Back and forth from both teams here. 43 seconds left on the clock, Bryce.
What a low-scoring game.
Well, I think that's what you get with 3 snipers.
That is true.
Or 2, should I say.
Oh my goodness, Whalers.
Confused with going 100% here. I could very easily see maybe 10, 12-0.
Yeah, me too. However, this is the problem. Maybe, you know, next half they start to struggle a little bit, since it could very easily get a few points on the board. Could you imagine if their hubris ends up letting them down?
Definitely could happen, and don't underestimate teams. This is what Infused are doing right now, and I'll be honest, they are underestimating them.
They are.
But it's gonna convert. It's now 2-2, all level. And you know what I think? I think Marky will be going, "Hey boys, come on, let's pull out back on M8s." That's what Marky will be doing.
It's not the greatest Marky accent I've ever heard you do.
Marky B, let's pull out the M8 assault rifles and take them down with our wee little choppies.
He's got a deeper voice than that. Deepen it.
I can't do that.
Marky B, by the way.
I think sometimes Marky's, you know, sometimes if you go to a country, you kind of adopt the accent.
Yeah.
I think Marky's, because all he's done, and this is not an insult, by the way, because I've done exactly the same, but for the past, like, 5 years of his life, he's played so much video games with English people. I genuinely think he's lost some of that Scottishness.
Oh, he definitely has. You go back and watch his old interviews, you can barely understand him.
I know, and now it's a lot kind of more clear. Camo used and not utilized as Whalers does fall. PT still rocking this sniper combo, and he's going to fall as well. Do you know what I would love to see? When this goes 4-2 to Cintiq, then I want to see what PT and Zero are using.
Oh, that's a long release, and it misses.
It's going to be reset as well. Back to square 1. Here we go. There you go.
Aha, there we go.
Someone's not so confident anymore, are you? You're not confident in your sniper shot, PT?
Well,
Tempest shut down, that's big.
He doesn't see that player laying on the floor. Long range VMP, he's going to go down here from the trade, or he should do if Zero wasn't sniping over his head.
Zero is still rocking the sniper. This is the difference. Pete is swapped now, and they're starting to pick pace up.
It is, you are right, it is the difference. Petey's just so much more comfortable. I mean, that is just typical, isn't it? Petey picks it up, instant 5 streak. 6. 7. Can he get Cerberus here? Or has he run out of ammo?
He's going to punch. He's going to... Oh, no, he's going to look for a weapon. He's found one. Found a Man of War. A very colourful one.
Full Cerberus. Oh, didn't get any further, though.
Well, I think he'll be quite happy with that.
Are they going to try a manual pass here into Zero? No.
Whalers can go for the 1-point play. He's not opted to. He's been heat waved. In fact, that was his teammate who popped the heat wave. Will be able to pick the... Oh, that was disgusting. Choppy must have been super weak there. Whalers is struggling to pick the drone up.
When next to the kills come in, Whalers going to be looking for this one. Actually, going to go for this 2 since PD is still just wrecking havoc since he's picked that back up. And there's also a Cerberus in the area.
Here it comes. Marky B taking top control, and he's going to take down another, and that's going to be Pear. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Zero actually trying to put some damage here. Cerberus has picked up a kill.
Pete's gone back to the sniper. Do you think they went? He just went, all right, that's enough now.
Marky will be going, guys, we've not won this yet. We've not won this. Come on, guys, play seriously. Peter's gone, fine. It pulls out the SMG, gets the Cerberus and says, right, Mark, I'm going back to my sniper.
I think that's just the level here. If I said, and again, this is what we were talking about earlier, right, Momo, where we said for Cintiq there is no shame in this. I don't think they don't proclaim to be an elite level team. They don't proclaim to kind of be this high level, from what I understand. And it's infused.
Wow, Whalers just destroyed them. 3 kills for him back to back, and the Hellstorm isn't going to find anyone as Zero snipes one out of the air. Whalers picking up his 4th and his 5th, making it a 7-kill streak now.
Oh, not quite able to get that one. Marky, no, dropping him for a 2.
Now, with 100 seconds or 1:40 left on the clock, you can only see this ending one way. PT's now 26 and 15. Whalers 33 kills to his name. But really, you can't really look at the scoreboard. PT actually paused there, just in shock that he's just missed a 1-point throw that was so easy.
Yep, that's, you know, I'm never going to call him terrible. PT, you suck.
Yeah, PT, awful game.
How dare you? How dare you miss that 1-pointer? I love the fact that pretty much off of spawn now, the default for 2 players and Infuse is to hit that wall run. Just not as good as Zero. He needs lessons from Zero, I think.
I mean, Zero's definitely had the practice with it. Oh, movement stopped there with the EMP. PT saying, I don't need lessons from anyone. Here I come. Picks up 1, trades there with Pear. And
oh, it's a 2-point play.
It should be a play, and a camo is used to get it. But that is all it's going to be, as Marky does take down 1. Choppy's going to trade it. And the only way, is there a way? Cintiq do the crazy comeback. This could be another 1-point play, is it?
We're trying to pick it up.
Been heat waved and taken down instantly. Oh, a nice hit marker for Zero.
They're going for the wrap by the look of it. And Marky B will be watching mid-cut. Gets it. Whalers going to hit the low wall run. Oh, no, not good enough.
Don't think he needs to practice that wall run a little bit because it stops right there.
Zero, go for a 1. What are you doing?
Zero is going for a... Oh, he missed the static play. He missed again.
Oh, Zero.
Zero to hero.
Yeah.
And back to 0 again.
Yeah. He's now at like 10.
Well, that's going to be the end of map number 3, and we see 2 quite quick 3-0 sweeps, and something that isn't surprising, especially in these parts of the tournament where you're going to get these pro to amateur match ups. But all in all, pretty good performance from the boys of Infused, and they put themselves ahead and now into the round of 16s. I refreshed the bracket. They will progress on. And if you guys want to have a look at the bracket and how it's breaking down, you can just head over to play.eslgaming.com. Just go into the Black Ops 3 section and you can find it there.
You most certainly can. We are going to be picking this up again tomorrow.
Yep.
And we're going to be following it right the way to the end. All the way to the grand final. It's 2 p.m. tomorrow local time in Germany. For people in the UK, that means it's a little bit earlier for you. It's only going to be 1 there. And if you're American and watching this, you know, I think it's, what, 5 hours now? For 6 hours from here. I'm going to get too complicated. Tomorrow.
It's happening on Sunday.
Yes.
We're finishing the tournament. Come back, twitch.tv/Call of Duty if you're watching in-game, PS4, anywhere. It has been a pleasure. Bryce, there were some good games today.
There were some good games. 2 3-0s. And I think Cintiq, you know, they had a decent opportunity, I think, in the Hardpoint.
Yeah.
Obviously, Infused just too good at that S&D and that Uplink to really make too much of a challenge. But that's what happens when you play an elite level squad. Anyway, if you're still in the tournament, good luck for the rest of it. We may end up seeing you tomorrow. If you have been knocked out, don't worry about it. There's always future opportunities. But speaking of future opportunities, we're going to say goodbye from now, and we will see you tomorrow. See you soon.